Okay, I hit the button, so that means we should be live. Tuesday night, technically Wednesday morning. How's everyone doing? I guess we've been doing this for a few days now. You guys seem to like it, so I got time. So let's do it. I got some food here with me though, so don't mind if I'm eating in front of you guys. I'm kind of hungry. Got some pizza left over from my the video that we just did. Hi Linda, hi Plant Power, New Life, Lindsay, Ariana, welcome to the chat. Hello Miss Mommy, Holly, Carrie. So yeah, what should we talk about tonight? Thank you guys for joining me, by the way. The last few nights, those of you that have been watching the lives, either live or after the fact. All right, so let's see. Today, doing a lot of work lately. Been shooting videos and editing them the same day for a bit now. So today's video was shot yesterday. I shot a video today for Josh. That is now edited and it should go up tomorrow around noon on his channel. So that's a video for him. And yeah, we went to a few places today. Kate, I would love to do one every night, but I didn't do one for myself today. I did one for Josh, so I probably won't be every day, but I'm going to try to continue the theme and get definitely more than 2 a week up for you guys. So, yeah, there'll be more coming. I've got some more ideas of what to do. So did everybody see the video I posted today, which would be titled, What's Left at Target? Kid Coughs on Us. So we did that. Why can I not? Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris. Okay, so I just want to mute that. I'm pulling it up over here, basically. There we go. We can kind of go over it and talk about anything that we went over in this video. So this is a video that I scrapped my other one that I was doing. I didn't throw it away. I just decided not to upload the one I was working on, which, by the way, was the one that we filmed in Toronto, which was really fun. So I could do this video just because of everything that's going on right now. I think certain things are more time sensitive than others. So whenever that arises, I might put the other ones on a back burner. But they won't catch on fire and burn away to ashes. They'll still be there. Carol can't sleep. So that's another thing. So if you guys can't sleep and you want somewhere to go to talk, we can come here. We can chat. You guys can ask me questions. I'm always open to your questions, and I'll answer them the best as I can. And I'm sure other people in the chat would love to too. Carrie is in Australia. 4 p.m. Nice. It is 1 o'clock a.m. I tried to get on a little bit earlier here, but it didn't work out. Wanted to go on around 11. I thought that'd be nice to do it at 11, but it didn't work out. So it's 1 o'clock. It's a little bit earlier than last night, and I don't expect to be on as long tonight. And if I can get off a little bit earlier, I'll probably go over to Twitch for a little bit, if that's the case. So I'm just eating some leftover pizza. Anyway, so I did this video. I show shots of Upstate Hospital, which is where our confirmed cases are. Yesterday we had 2 confirmed cases. I hear there's more now, but this is where it is, and a block over is where we went to eat, Strong Hearts. So I just wanted to go out and like kind of show like what's going on here, and it's kind of, I mean, if you look around, everything looks pretty normal, but when you really look around and you really take notice, like if you weren't really paying attention, everything looks normal. But then when you start thinking about like, this is the middle of the day, it's not a weekend, and there's nobody around. It's very ominous. I had some gloves there, and then we started out at BJ's. This is for those of you that have not seen this already. So now an ad's coming up, so let me just get rid of the ad. And a lot of the stores have signs like this. We apologize, because of the stock and the demand and because of the virus and stuff like that. It's important to get yourself a schedule. Yeah, this is more like what I do on a daily basis anyway. Bell, your work closed today? A lot of places are closing down. Joseph says that he wore my lightweight hoodie today in public, and a few people told me that. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Whenever I would wear the Vegan Zombie shirts anywhere, I would always get people asking about them. So they're definitely. I even had someone from who was it? I forget which one. Oh man, who was he? A senator. He said Vegan Zombie because I wore the shirt, and it was at the state fair. He was walking through the crowd, and I was like, he just called me by name. That was pretty cool. You're self-employed, so it really sucks. I hear that. Fortunately, I'm a YouTuber, so I am self-employed, but I can continue to do videos for people. So, yeah, it's tough for people that are out of work right now just because of what's going on. You guys, get in your bed. There's so much to do, though, if you're cooped up inside and you're trying to quarantine. I mean, be productive. Do something fun. Learn a language. There's a lot that could be done. Happy Irish Day. Thank you. So I just posted, this is my 30-year anniversary for going vegetarian, and I posted a few pictures on, maybe I can find them and kind of tell you guys the meaning behind the pictures. Posted them over there on Instagram, and pull them up here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we are. This right here, that's my little brother, Brian. That's Katie's dad. And that's me. I was 14 years old. And when I was 14, I went vegetarian on March 17th. Now, I believe it was the 17th. It was either the 17th or the 14th. I just chose to post the picture today, but it's within those 3 or 4 days that I went vegetarian and stopped eating meat back in 1990. Crazy. And then I also, just for the fun of it, I found some more pictures of me, so I threw a couple. That's not me. That's not me. That did not work out the way I thought it was. Let's see. Okay, there. I'm 16 years old here. And I was helping. If you zoom the picture out, which I cropped it in there to see that, there's 3 old people surrounding me, and I was helping them load up supplies onto a big truck, like school supplies, books, tables, chairs. They were sending it, from what I remember, I mean, this is 28 years ago. We were sending it to a third world country to donate for schools down there. So I was helping them work, and then the one guy went out on, he stepped away for a little bit, and he went to get lunch. Not knowing that he was doing this, he came back with some Burger King, and he said, "I got you lunch," and he gave me a burger, and I felt really bad because, you know, this is, I think, one of the first times I came into a situation like this, and I said, you know, "Thank you so much, but I can't eat it. I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat." And he's like, "Oh, okay, no problem," you know. And so, you know, that was my first experience, like, coming into a situation like that. And then let's see. I'm trying to do it from the wrong one. And then there I am. I'm 17 years old. I'm in high school. I'm a skater. I'm wearing a skateboarder shirt. Some Miami hat. Not a sports fan. I just liked the hat, I guess, the way it fit. Just being a punk, I guess. In the kitchen. Still a vegetarian, not a vegan. And this is probably 1993 around. I remember I had longer hair with like a shaved on the side, long skater cut, like kind of like Tony Hawk had in the movie Gleam in the Cube. And there we go. I am a vegan here. I'm 18. I'm a vegan. I might be 19. You can see in the background Encyclopedia Britannica. Who uses those anymore? And then on top of that, there was like a little scanner that my dad had. This is in my parents' house. I'm wearing my Anthrax shirt. I think I bought that in Canada. But I liked Anthrax. And what I'm eating here, now that's the best part of the picture. I'm eating a Harvest Burger, which they don't sell anymore. They haven't sold them in probably 20 years. But when I went vegan, they had something called Harvest Burgers, and they were my favorite. And I wish I could try them today. You know, I really feel like they still hold up, the way I cooked them at least. And I would literally eat like 2 of them a day. I would make 2 at a time, eat them, and right there is a Harvest Burger. So the bleached hair. Now I just want to point out, this is way before Eminem was famous, okay? So nobody knew who Eminem was. I had bleached hair because I wanted bleached hair, and I shaved my head. So that was me. My eyebrows look a lot darker there just because they were. I did not dye them. I had dark eyebrows. I used to get a lot of compliments on them too. Now they're like disappearing. So there I am as a vegan, never going back. Oh, and also, I didn't like my picture taken. I was always the guy behind the camera. That's why there's not too many photos of me in my teenage years. You know, my dad would take movies and pictures of me growing up, but then in my teenage years, I tried to rebel, and I didn't want people taking pictures of me, and there I am. I forget. It's probably my dad. Somebody took a picture of me, and I'm like eating. And I'm like, I probably swore at him. Probably said the F word. I'm like, you know, get out of here. Anyway, it's a long time ago. So that's a little bit there. Little backstory. I'm gonna eat another piece of this pizza here. No, where Anthrax and we take no and weed. I love that song. And I believe Scott Ian, is from here, Syracuse, Camillus. So, anthrax, Syracuse. Dogs don't get this virus. Vegan Bell says we are close in age. Are we close in age? Maybe. Well, you can tell my age right from what I just told you guys. Larry wants to know if I think that they will have vegan festivals in upstate New York this year. I sure hope so. But we're just going to have to ride it out and see what happens with this. If it blows over in like a couple months, yeah, I think people are going to want to finally get out and have festivals and events and get over this. But if this, and it's totally plausible that this could go on for a little bit longer than we expect, then I could see a lot of things being canceled and closed down. Everybody just going stir crazy. But try to make it into something fun and exciting. Try not to think of it in a negative way, because it's the same way that I think about panicking and worrying and stress. There's no benefits from it, from any of those things. So if you can't change something, and I've always been this way, of like, if I can't change something, then I'm not going to worry, I'm not going to stress, all right, I did what I could, I'm doing the best I can. I'm not going to stress about it, because when you stress, when you worry, when you panic, it just exacerbates the problem, makes it worse, and it's not really going to benefit you. It's probably just going to make things worse. Yeah, I know a lot of these events were canceled. I know that there's a vegan expo, the plant-based expo in New York City, that I'm supposed to be part of. Oh, I got to contact them. But I just got an email today that I believe that is now postponed, and that's not even until June. So we're talking about all the way in June, and they're postponing things. We have almost 60 people watching. Nice. Yeah, what else? What else was I going to say about the video that we posted today? So here's my theory. Okay, so we went in we went in a couple stores yesterday, and in the video that you see, we went Target, BJ's, Trader Joe's, and all of them were just the same as the other ones. They were most everything was like gone. All of the shelves. Definitely no toilet paper in anywhere we went. But very, very sparse on other things. And then we went to Wegmans today, and I did find a few things that I was looking for the first day that they didn't have. Like, I was able to get carrots and sweet potatoes and bananas and Oatly, but they still didn't have any peanut butter. They didn't have any flour, no toilet paper, nothing like that. So here's my theory. I'm thinking that the majority of the people went out, they panicked, they went out and they bought everything, and the stores are like they are. And now a lot of people have what they need. A lot of people have what they need. Some people still don't, but a lot of people do. And they all went out at the beginning. And a lot of people don't want to keep going out because we're being told to stay inside and self-quarantine to kind of stop this and at least slow it down. So with that being said, there's less people going out to the stores now. There's still people going, but there's less. And it's given the stores time to replenish. So I think within the next week or two, we're going to see all of these products being fully stocked, or at least stocked. So I don't think anybody really needs to worry, especially if you weren't one of the people that were able to go out and get stuff. I think we're going to start seeing fully stocked or mid stocked shelves in the weeks coming, because it's going to give, like I said, it's going to give these stores a chance to replenish. And then that also gives, like these people that are price gouging things, they're not going to be able to, because all these products are going to be okay again. And, we're going to get all those people that went out at the beginning. They're not going to be going to the stores anymore, or at least as much. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay there. Let's see. But if you didn't see my video, I'm just going to kind of skim through it. This is BJ's. BJ's, if you don't know BJ's, it's kind of like, it's almost exactly like a Costco. And I was very surprised that like literally everything was gone except for the vegan things. Like, look at this cage. Everything's gone except for these vegan burgers, And you would think, a lot of people are saying that the virus was caused through meat consumption, but yet everybody's buying all the meat and they're leaving all the veggies and the vegan things behind. Nobody's using common sense. Nobody's saying, well, wait a minute. Maybe we shouldn't eat meat anymore if that's how this virus is spreading. Which, by the way, that's not my theory on it, but that's what a lot of people are saying. Everything's gone here except for the onions. Here, why don't we just kind of play the video out a little bit and I'll narrate it. These were all the nuts, everything. All these are healthy things, but nobody touched them. These are more things. Here, I just wanted to show more of these cages that are out. And normally I don't show anything near the meat section, but I just wanted to show that it's all gone. People took all the meat, but they're leaving all vegan things. Okay, most of the bread is gone. All of the bread here, gone. And here we are talking about shaving our beards, which, by the way, we did not do. But notice I have my hair up. My hair is not down. It's pulled back and it's under the hat. Everything here is pretty bare. I was surprised that they did have water there. They did. But they have a lot of signs saying like limit 2 per person or 4 or something like that per. And look at this. Midday, there's really nobody in line. It wasn't as busy as it looked in the parking lot. And we don't want to touch that. It looked really, really dirty. You can freeze a loaf of bread. And over here were the wipes right here. Now this is a lot of people. Hold on a second. So a lot of people go through there, and you all know, like if you go to like a Costco or a BJ's Club like that, there's somebody there that are grabbing your receipt and checking things off. Now they're grabbing the receipt of everybody that goes through there, and we know this virus can live on outside surfaces. So Josh gave him the receipt to look over, and then he's like, I don't want it back. And we just kept walking. And I thought that was pretty smart. The next stop was Target. As you can see, I put on some gloves. I actually got those from Rachel, who's a nurse. So everything here was pretty gone. These were hand sanitizer things, and they're all gone. But I was really surprised over here, like all the way down here. And this was limited to, it says 1 per person. But all of the toilet paper, all of the paper towels, all of the Kleenexes, all totally gone. And then over here, let me back up just a little bit more. I look at here, everything's gone except for the vegan milk. Now, why? I don't know. Let me just elaborate on that. I don't know because, you could pretty much look it up, the science, pretty much anywhere. But, dairy suppresses the immune system. It causes like inflammation, mucus. It's really not the best thing to be consuming for a good immune system. On the other hand, plant milk is completely healthy, but everybody left it behind. Nobody wanted it, which I'm not complaining. I don't understand people, but I'm not complaining because it's not out. I could get what I needed. And they have oat, which is pretty good if you can't find Oli. And then over here, they have the vegan section. And as you can see, a lot of the stuff is gone, but they definitely have they definitely have a lot of different things. So it just begs the question. And then we come over here, and every bread is gone except for the one vegan bread that they have. Dave's Killer Bread. It's the only one left. Everything else is empty. So I ended up grabbing that one, the 21 whole grains. So we didn't really go here with any idea of what we really wanted to get, but we just grabbed a handful of things at each store. Barely anything, but I'm already pretty well prepared. This is the Target exclusive only ice cream. I don't know if you guys know that, but this one right here, up here, the chocolate salted swirl, you can only find it at Target, and it's really good. So anyway, we keep going, let it go, and now we're leaving. And let me just turn it up because this little kid coughs on us as we're walking out.
Hey, that dude's taller than you. Where? All right, like
it was right there. He coughed on us.
Seriously. All right, so there we go, Target. We
That
totally
kid right
just got out of there, and someone just basically coughed on us.
Oh my god. Fucking wrong.
I rewound it.
All right, so there we go, Target.
That kid right there. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on one second. There he is right there with his dad. That kid coughed on us.
Target. We totally just got out of there, and someone just basically coughed on us.
Right on my butt.
I think the wind was going in our favor,
Yeah.
so I think we're good.
It blew it right back in their face. My pants might be safe.
But it's weird because this lady was coughing in an aisle without covering her mouth, and we all just turned around and went the other way. And then again today, when we went to get food, this guy came in and he just like hacked one up like over. And I'm like, what? Why are people, especially now, why are people not covering their mouth? At least, you know, do the elbow. Oh man, I need a drink of water. What else? Okay, so then we went into Trader Joe's. I didn't turn the camera off because the guy came up to us, but I was turning it off anyway, and I really wish I turned it on. But he came up to us, and he told us we can't film there, and that was a huge bummer. And I just want to say, I'm not surprised. I'm not mad that we were told that we couldn't film there because I guess that's company policy. It's just the way that it was said. He just kind of went right up there. I mean, okay, if I was working there and I had to tell somebody they couldn't film there, I would be like, hey guys, sorry, but you know, that's company policy. We can't film here, so you got to put the camera away. Perfect, right? Yeah, you put it away. That's it. Now, as a longtime skateboarder, same thing. If I'm skating somewhere and I'm getting kicked out and somebody comes up to me and says, hey guys, sorry, you can't skate here. I'm like, oh, no problem. You know, we'll go somewhere else. But when somebody comes up to you and they threaten you and they say, you know, get out of here, I'm going to call the cops, or give me your board. Like, that's happened more often than not. Then you're kind of like, well, why are you treating me like this? You're coming here treating me like a criminal. You could easily just tell me it's not allowed, and I'll be more than respectful and go. Well, that's kind of what happened here. I mean, he wasn't like a total D, but he did come up and said, he just assumed all this. He's like, you can't film here. It says it right outside. You can't film here. And I was like kind of like caught off guard by the way he was acting. So I kind of walked away, and then I was just like, okay, now you got kind of like irritated Chris going now. So I threw my groceries on the floor, which was only that piece of bread. I threw it on the floor. I'm not buying this. But at the same time, I still wanted to check out the mac and cheese because I had not seen it before. And hey, I've been promoting Trader Joe's for years now. You guys know that. I've only said good things. I've never said anything bad about Trader Joe's. Only good, positive thing. So I walked around again, and I went right back up to this guy. Now he's talking with two other ladies, and then they broke apart, and I walked up to him, and I said, and very calm, very nice and polite, I'm like, hey, I don't remember his name because I was confronted before about a year ago. And I go, I don't remember his name, but a manager confronted me a while back and said that it was okay for me to film here because he knew I wasn't doing anything harmful. I was only doing good things. And he looked at me and goes, you can't film here. And I'm like, all right. So at that point, like, I put my camera away. I was only using my phone. Fine, right? Okay, it's a bummer, but whatever. So I decided to continue to look for the mac and cheese and a couple other things before I left. You know, out of sight, out of mind, big deal. So I'm walking around the store. I'm pretty observant, and I used to be loss prevention at a few different places. I used to actually train it. So I train surveillance and all that stuff. So I'm walking around and I notice that these two ladies are following me wherever I go. Wherever we went, they were right on us and they were basically looking at us. They weren't looking at us with smiles. They were, yeah. And then at one point I just looked right at her. I'm wondering, I feel like she's following me, but I don't see, I'm not positive that she works here. So maybe she's just, I don't know. And then I go back, I find the mac and cheese, I grab a couple of those, and then I grab some dog biscuits for my dog, the vegan ones, and then we go, and everywhere we went, I went back and forth, they were following. And then I went and I grabbed a couple of those Sun Butter cups, because I wanted Josh to try one of those, and then we went up, and then I paid, and then I got all my stuff in my brown bag, paper bag, and then I decided I want to go back there and look at the mac and cheese again. Over there. There was other products there and I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something. So I wanted to see if I was being followed. So I walked all the way down to the back and then the lady comes right up on the side of me and she's like, can I help you? And I just looked over and I said, look, and I know I was told that I can't film here anymore. And I was wondering if, is that a company policy? And she's like, yes, it is. Okay, great. I'm wondering if there's any way I could get permission, if there's any way if there could be an exception. I have a YouTube channel and I've been doing this for a while and I've made several videos just saying nothing but nice things about the store and about the products. And anytime there's new products here, I show people what you guys carry. And, you're one of my favorite stores. And, I would hate to not be able to do that. And she's like, no photography and no video. And I'm like, is there anyone else I could talk to? She's like, well, I'm like, there's got to be like media relations or something where I could get, special permission to do this. Because, I swear I'm not out to get, say anything negative about the store. And I really wish I could go back in time and ask her, like, is there a reason you're following me around the store? It's not like I'm stealing anything or anything like that, but yet you're following me wherever I go. And I realize a lot of people in the comments were saying, like, with everything that's going on with this whole pandemic and the stressful thing. I get that. I get it. But at the same time, yeah, don't be rude to people. Just don't be rude to people. I was very polite to them, and it's just a bummer. So I am gonna reach out probably when this whole thing blows over, and just say, hey, look, when there's more important things. But what I'm trying to say is there's more important things going on right now than for me to film in there. So I understand, but when this all blows over, I'm going to try to contact corporate and just be like, hey, can you give me a special pass? It's the only Trader Joe's near me, so it's not like I can just go to another one. And I don't really see any harm in it. And I did turn the camera off, so, I don't think, there's, if I kept it on, yeah, they could tell me to leave the store, but they can't press like any kind of charges against me or anything like that. So I turned it off, I left, and I just had a bad feeling about it just because, like just a simple like, hey, you can't, sorry, man. But that's not how it was. So anyway, I just rambled on, but we can talk about something else. Okay, then we went We went over here to Strong Hearts. Josh got the wings. Those. We got another ad coming up. These are Josh's favorite wings, by the way, so he likes going here. Even before he was vegan, he'd go there with me to get those wings. I wonder if you can skate in Trader Joe's. That should be my next video. I skate at Trader Joe's. You said I couldn't film here, but you didn't say I couldn't skate here through the aisles. So, all right, now I'm rambling. And then I thought I would close the video out with just some scenery of Syracuse. I put some nice music in it because if I put creepy music in it, eerie music, everybody would say I'm trying to cause fear, which I'm not. But I mean, let's just say it. Like it was weird because there was no traffic. I mean, there's a little bit of traffic, but there's barely anything out there. And like there's one car that went by. I mean, normally there's a lot more than that. It was really dead, and it just had a very ominous feel to it. So that's the reality of what's going on. So, also I want to show you this because this is a potential. I still need to contact the owners, but right here, this little gem diner, right there. Possible location for the movie. And then, now Josh seems to think that he saw a face in the sky right here. And let's see. Oh, I see it. You got the two eyes right here. You got the nose and then the mouth right there. It's like a face right there. You guys see it? It's looking down at me. So, just from talking, my hair fell down. I had it pulled back without a band on. I started talking, boom. So, sorry guys, I apologize, but I have not been looking at any of the questions in the chat because I've been rambling. But, so what's up, guys? What's up? I'm eating leftover pizza from that video. You want pizza now, Lindsay? Oh wow, we got over 80 people watching right now, which is weird because that's what 1:30 in the morning. I usually don't even have that many people watching on the normal Wednesday lives during the day. It's not really that crunchy right now. The crust is, but the middle is not. I put it in the air fryer for a little bit before I came up here, and I threw some of these Kalmata olives that we grabbed at BJ's. I haven't heard anything about Vegandale, New York City being canceled or not. You know, Craig is supposed to have a dual birthday party with Kara, and that is supposed to be in a week and a half, somewhere around there. And I'm wondering if those are going to be canceled. What else was I going to say? I had a few things to talk about. But if I run out, we'll cut the stream short. We won't do it until 5 in the morning one like we have been. You like that green lettering embroidered on the hat? I got the white one and the red one too. I like these hats. Wow, that just reminded me. I'm not really sure what my other one. Remember I used to wear that other one with the ball on the top? I like that one. I like it. I like it a lot. So apparently we have the most confirmed cases of the virus here in New York State right now out of any other state. Belle, where are you located? A lot of places are, yeah. I was talking to the other owner of Strong Hearts today, not Joel, but the other guy, Nick, and asked him about that. And it's just, yeah, they had to really limit hours and staff, and a couple places out in like Rochester had it. Like I think Redford and closed their doors, a vegan restaurant out there. Minnesota. I've been there. I've been to Minnesota before. Over 100 in Nassau County. No, I didn't. I just put a little bit of hot sauce on it. Trying to stay away from those oily things. So... I haven't really have any time for any fun hobbies because I've been actually working, well, as you guys know, even more because of this. I have not read that, Belle. Ride and Ruin. Well, Jorge, I just finished, but I was eating piece of pizza from the video we filmed yesterday. But now I'm done. I won't be chewing pizza in front of you guys anymore. I will be chewing olives. Now I'm going to put those over to the side. All right. Now it's just us. Undivided attention. I will read comments now. 1,000-piece puzzles. That sounds fun. Wait. Found dairy-free Netflix and chill. Then Checker said, oh, non-dairy, and sneezed. Well, that's not fun. I have a friend right now that is being tested for the virus. Do I have mom and pop stores near me? There's a few. I've gone to a couple of them in... I did a few videos of them, I don't remember, like a year or two ago. There's one right by the farmer's market that has a lot of stuff. And then there's this one that I just heard about from my friend that owns the Vegan Cafe. that has like a Mediterranean stuff. So I want to check that one out. But other than that, no, there's really not that I know of. Used to do that more when I was a little kid. Used to go to a few different ones like all the time. You don't really see as many of those anymore. The Joel Ledger series. Ted. Yeah, they're putting they put our hospitals here on lockdown. Bethany, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the late night entertainment for the past few nights. It's brought me a lot of comfort, and I'm sure many other people as well. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel good that at least I'm helping by, keeping the discourse open, so we can chat about whatever. I appreciate it. I do like thin crust Candace. I do like the Sweet Earth pizza from what I had at the expo. I bet if people really looked around hard and went to some places that they haven't been before, I bet they could find everything that they need. But between the stores I've gone to, I found pretty much anything I needed, or anything other people can need. Like I said, I don't really need anything. But the one thing that I haven't seen anywhere is like toilet paper. It's out everywhere. I was thinking about doing a video where I just showed you guys like, quick what I do have, what I've had for a while, what's in my pantry, what's in my kitchen, what's in my refrigerator. I need to clean it first. Yeah. Can I try it? I actually already tried it. I tried it today. The Trader Joe's vegan mac. I'm full, so I can't eat it right now, but you've never tried vegan pizza? How can you not try vegan pizza? Belle, you got to try some pizza. I've made all kinds of pizzas, crazy stuffed crust pizzas, mac and cheese pizzas. I've made raw vegan pizza, like everything. All kinds of pizza. Pizza's so good. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people think about going to places like Home Depot or Lowe's or anything. But yeah, I know Home Depot normally has like tons of like paper towels and toilet paper and all that stuff. So that's definitely an option. Shelly, this is the first time here. I did not know Oprah was arrested. But it's not. Is it true? I just don't see that. I wonder what she did. She gave away too many cars. Yeah, I don't know. Ace Hardware. Yeah, I think it's gonna get vegan zombie therapy. Yeah. How can we make people feel better tonight? What can we talk about? Wow, we have more people watching now than I normally have on my regular live streams in the middle of the day. So, hey, we'll just we'll talk about like what would happen, I mean, I always said like I would do this if there was a zombie apocalypse. So here we are, talking late night with the vegan zombie. Well, Robert has a question. Chris, I have a question. How would you know if someone gets infected, would have scar tissue on their lungs, and stamina would decrease? How do you know that since it's so new to? Well, they're already saying that this is dangerous. I actually just watched an update today. So I watch a guy that talks about it. He's got a PhD. He's got a master's. All these things from, and he talks about daily updates on this virus, and he disagrees with a lot of what the government is telling us, what the CD is telling us. The whole thing with the masks not being useful, he says that's not correct, and he gives daily updates and everything. And one of the things that he was saying was, people are not really, there's a lot of people, a lot of young people that think this is just like, something that the boomers should be afraid of, older people. And it's just not the case. Younger people are getting just as sick. And, even if you do get it, there's a certain percentage of people that get it a lot worse than other people. And when they get it, they don't realize that it can scar their lungs. But it doesn't really take, a scientist or a genius to know that if you have scarred lungs, that's going to be less surface area for you to take in air, which would decrease your stamina. It would affect you. It would affect your life. Just think about that. Like, think about trying to breathe and feeling like you can't catch your breath, or you're out of breath just by, walking to the counter, stuff like that. So, it's very real. Even though this disease is a new disease, it's already scarred people. It's already devastated people. It's killed people. And the other thing that I don't understand what people are saying is like, there's a small percentage of people that are affected a lot more than others, and there's a lot of people in the world. So when they see that small percentage, they're like, "Oh, it's too small of a percentage." But you add that percentage up, and that's a lot of people. I mean, if you even just took like a 0.01% of the world, I mean, you got a lot of people, you got millions. So, but this is even more than that. This is even the people that are being, that are dying from this is the statistics are up. But the last time something like this happened was what, 1918, somewhere around there. Upwards of 50 million people died. That was a huge part of the population back then. So, yeah, that's crazy. That's like more than wars and all that stuff. So, will I give you the name? I will not give you the name. No, hold on. I will try to find the name for you right now. I've been watching, I've watched a bunch of this dude's videos, but I'd probably have to go to my history. I'm not subscribed to him, and I haven't watched all of his videos, but I did watch a few, and they were very informative. And then earlier today, I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna. Because this guy is saying totally different things than what the government is saying to us, which, hey, I wouldn't put it past them. The reason why he's saying the government is saying no to all these things is because they're embarrassed. They weren't prepared. They didn't have enough masks, and they don't want to say, hey, we need it, and like not have availability. So they're saying, if you're not sick, you don't need them. But like, I mean, I always had some common sense here. I always knew like, hey, you know what? Even if they're telling me not to, I think I'd rather, and even if people are telling me, well, it doesn't work, I think I'd rather have, if I was going to be in an area like that, I haven't been in an area like that, but I was going to wear one if I flew on a plane, because I'm in close quarters with a lot of people. Now, if you have a mask on and somebody sneezes or coughs right in your face, well, I'd rather have that protection right there than somebody saying like, it's not going to help you, it's not going to help you. I'm like, okay, maybe you're right, but I'd rather have this protection just in case. Because if I can prevent, 90% of that coming to my face, and there's only a little bit on me, but it didn't get on my lips, maybe it didn't get in my eyes, like, hey, I think I have more of a chance than you not catching it if I'm at least wearing something. So I agree with what he's saying there. And so, yeah, I went and looked at his credentials just to make sure that this guy isn't just like somebody like myself with no criteria, degree, or anything like that. That's just saying, his opinion. And it turns out he's not. He's got all kinds of accredit. You know what I mean? Let me just go to my history right here. History. Oh, you know what? I think I watched it on my other channel. All right, so now I'm going to have to try to remember his name. Okay, photographic memory came in good. I had no idea, but I just looked in my brain and I found him. Okay, so hold on. Let me just pull this up. All right, I'm going to show you guys real quick. Just for like a split second, you're gonna have to. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna show you guys. This is what it is. It's called Peak Prosperity. That's who I've been watching. He's giving updates on the daily about the coronavirus and the statistics, and he really goes into detail. Whereas the media, I gotta admit, I haven't been watching the media. A lot of people are saying the media is fear-mongering and everything. This guy gives a level-headed thing. He's telling people, like what you could be doing and the downtime. He's the one that gave me the idea to tell you guys earlier that one of the things you could do would be learn a language. Lots of different things you could do during this time. So this guy's trying to educate people here. And so go check it out. It's called Peak Prosperity. And I haven't watched all the videos, but I have watched a few. Okay, so we have Anas. Says, greetings from Greece. We are in full quarantine 5 days now. I'm glad that our government acted quick and started the quarantine first in Europe, but I'm afraid people can't follow rules. And that's a good one. That's something that Josh was talking about too. People just are not listening. I'm seeing pictures of people out on spring break partying, people hanging out at bars and restaurants and partying, and it's like, that's kind of selfish, because what they're doing is they're allowing other people, they may catch it and then spread it to other people and bring it back to other people, and they just think it's nothing. And I have different theories. I mean, and don't think that like conspiracies haven't crossed my mind. I mean, when I think of something, I try to think of different things in every different angle, just so I've thought of it, And yeah, it did cross my mind that maybe this whole thing was a conspiracy, a hoax, and it's not even real, because I don't know anybody, and I don't know anybody that knows anybody that has it. But I'm not willing to bet my life, my health, on the fact that maybe I'm wrong. So I'm taking every precaution as if this is like a full-on real pandemic, which I do believe that it is, but it has crossed my mind that, I mean, I have theories. People that are being, I'm not even going to say that right now. I said I was going to start another channel for conspiracies, so we'll go to there and do that. I'm not going to say that on this channel. I've watched things like from actual people in the thick of it. Like I watched the video of a doctor from Italy talking about it and what's going on and what precautions we need to take. They're a little bit ahead of us on this. So yeah, I just really haven't seen too many anything on the media. I've just been watching actual videos of people that are in the thick of it, or people like the guy that I just showed you. Now you want to hear conspiracies. You're going to enjoy the sunlight from your extra tall windows. Yeah, really what it is. So the only way we're going to slow this down and stop it is quarantine, The more people that go out, the more the virus spreads. If it keeps spreading, then more people get sick, more people potentially die. And that's why everybody's telling everyone to quarantine, because that is a sure way to end the spread. If everybody stays indoors and doesn't go out and practices all this, the safe precautions, then nobody's going to get it. So, I mean, has nobody seen zombie movies? Come on. I've been going outside every day too. Just staying my distance from people. Like I saw my friend today, and I didn't go too close to him. We didn't shake hands. We didn't fist bump. We just, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I heard that if things don't get under control in the next week, that we might have a nationwide quarantine, which is weird, because the guy that I just showed you his YouTube video, he predicted that like 3 days ago, and that's exactly what they're talking about now. I wouldn't be surprised in some of the other countries like that, people that have had it, they're getting rid of them. Oh yeah, North Korea. I wouldn't expect that in South Korea, but North Korea, I can expect that. I was just waiting for my neighbor to come running at me, trying to bite my arm off, but nope, he was just barbecuing. Yeah. Nobody mentions where the virus stems from, because I don't think that they probably don't know. There's speculations. My speculation is it was bioengineered. I definitely could. I could spew a bunch of conspiracies right now, but this channel is supposed to calm people down, not make people fear. So, no, you're right, Debro. This is very, very much like my movie. I'll give a little bit away. Like there's an infection that is stemmed from the meat and dairy that people consume, and that's why the vegans are one step ahead. But that is what is turning people into these zombies, and I wrote that 11 years ago. That's right. Well, right now, everybody's pouring tons of money back into the economy. Left, like everywhere. Well, that's what was one of the conspiracies that we were thinking of. Josh was talking to me about that earlier today. That's one of his theories. The vegans are one step ahead. That's right on my. We'll go to this website real quick. It's called The Vegan Zombie. All right, let's see. Let's go to... Wait, where is it? Do I not have an About Us anymore? That's not it. Where's my blog? I'll have to talk to my... I forgot. Where did it go? I had an About Me up here. About. And it talked about... That's weird. I didn't even realize it wasn't there. Let me just go one more place. Over here. Over here. And there. Nope. That's weird. Wow. Well, yeah, I basically my the theme just basically says that the meat and dairy were causing the outbreak of people to become mindless flesh eaters, zombies, and the vegans were one step ahead. Yeah, that people can't stay home. It's funny because that's the world we live in now, but back when I was a kid, that would have been fine to stay home like that. We would find tons of stuff to do, play games and make stuff and all kinds of different things we would do. Heck, I could sit there and play Dungeons and Dragons forever back when I was a little kid. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to do. Yeah, Linda, it's not in the FAQ. That's other. That just talks about just questions that people ask about it. So I don't know where it went. I'm gonna have to ask Dominic. Nope, I don't see it. Yeah, lots of reading. I did watch the 80s cartoon. Yes, I loved it. Well, you're all set, Wahida. I'm going to be, Kayla, I'm going to actually try to clean a little bit tomorrow and do a video of what I have stocked up, what's in my pantry, what's in my kitchen. Because I've never done that. Because it's never clean. Ooh, violin, that sounds cool. Are you good at violin? The red violin. I don't know where that went. Let me just make a little note. There we go. I didn't even know it wasn't there. 10 pounds of brown rice. That's a lot of brown rice. Now that's 10 pounds of dry brown rice, right? Before you make it. Laura says, I'm thinking of signing up for a course online to help me learn editing. I actually did that just because it was such a cheap course. I did it through, I think it was, oh man, I forget what it was. It was $30, and it said how to for everything in Creative Cloud. Now, I already know how to edit. I've been doing it for a long time, but for $30 to probably find some shortcuts or some tricks, it was worth it for me. I haven't watched it yet, and I bought it like almost a year ago. So I brought it. Maybe I'll have time to do that, although I haven't seemed to have any free time since this is all happening. So who knows? And just when we started going to the gym every day, boom, we can't go to the gym anymore. So that kind of sucks. You played 15 years and then sold it. Well, so you could probably still play it then. Oh yeah, you could make a lot with TVP. I actually have a couple Instapots. I could have one going in the kitchen and one going in the living room. I'm just kidding. Soy curls are really good. So I made some soy curls a few days ago, and it was really good. Josh loved them too. Probably should have done a video. I will do a video on it, but I just wanted... We got a couple bags. We got like 3 bags of them. DC Marvel. So I've been doing home workouts for the past 8 years, and I just started going to the gym. So it's like the opposite for me. I never liked going to the gym. I did not want to go to the gym, but I decided to start going, mainly because of Craig, knowing Craig was going all the time. And I would go... I went a few times with him, but I just never bought that membership because it was a little more than... And it's also kind of a drive for me, so I wanted to find somewhere closer. And then Josh had a free buddy pass, so I started going with him. Actually, he didn't go, and I encouraged him to go. I'm like, let's go, let's use that pass. And he's like, and then he went, and then he felt really good and wanted to go every night, and then this all happened. So I did do a video with soy curls, but I didn't really show how to make it, really. I did a taste test with Craig. So I just made it real quick. However, I thought, threw some different seasonings in it, and then we tried it out. But I wanted to do an actual recipe video with it. It was really good the other day when I made it. I haven't had a problem finding tofu. It doesn't seem like anyone's buying the tofu. I think people like those videos, house tour, pantry tour. See, I just got to organize all this junk. I got so much junk in here. Here's my one messy room. Here's my other messy room. Now this room over here is pretty... No. Oh, you know what I just realized is my battery wasn't... Oh my God, can you believe it? I called that to a second. Like, I just knew psychically my battery was about to go out. That's so crazy. You guys all saw that, right? I said it before it went out. That's my psychic powers. Does that one now? Okay, that one works. All right, we're gonna charge this one. That was pretty crazy there. It was like boom, boom. I'm like, I was about to tell you a story about my battery's probably gonna go out soon because it wasn't fully charged when I started this. It was like 87%. That was crazy. I'm back. Oh my God, we have more people watching, I think, than we ever have on a daytime stream. Should we always just... Is this because everybody's quarantined? Is it because people like to be on here later at night? I don't know. Thanks, Jorge. Now I got that song in my head. The zombie in the background is freaky. Well, it's either that or Big Josh Vegan's head, so... Yeah, I haven't seen Craig in a while either. He called me yesterday. We talked for a little bit, and I was supposed to go help him film a video today, and he basically called and said, you know, we need to cancel, and I'm like, I know. Just because of what's going on. And I don't know... I mean, I might have already been exposed to it. Like, I've been at all the stores. I've been to Walmart, Target. I've been out in public. I got coughed on. You know, Josh has been out. Same thing. Rachel works at the hospital where there's actual coronavirus patients. So I'm definitely not going to go visit my parents. You know what we should do? I mean, obviously not tonight, but we should like watch a movie together. Like I put a movie on and like we talk about it as we watch it. Like everybody get your snacks. We're going to watch a movie. We'll watch like horror movies and stuff. Half the people here are going to be like, I'm out. No horror for me. I hope you can give us a play-by-play on what? Oh, Laura missed all of the, but you took a nap, so you're prepared. Nice. 28 Days Later would be nice. Yes, you're right. I love 28 Days Later. And I think one of the best opening scenes to any horror movie is the first 10 minutes of 28 Weeks Later. I think all in all, 28 Days Later is a better movie, but the beginning of 28 Weeks Later, amazing. That's intense. I love it. And I love this song that they play, In a Heartbeat by In the House. Well, the one movie I know that I could play that is not copyrightable, that I will not get any flagged or demonetization or anything like that would be Night of the Living Dead. When I get the virus. You know what, guys? I don't want the virus, but if I did get it, I would stream as long as I could. Stream, make videos. Fire in the sky. We talked about some cool extraterrestrial things or potentially the other night. That was a good stream. That was fun. Linda said the wrong movie. Dawn of the Dead, though. Yeah, we couldn't watch Dawn of the Dead, but I think any other movie we watch, we would get copyright striked. They might even take it down for playing a movie. That happened to me, actually. Remember what we were streaming and I was showing you guys the Threat Level Midnight by The Office, and we were just going to like commentate over it, and my stream, they stopped my stream and they said, you've violated our terms of service. And I was like, what? So yeah, I don't know. I would love to play these movies, but I don't think we can. Interview with the Vampire would be great. It's a long movie, but yeah, Dawn of the Dead. Are you talking about the original or the remake? You just have to keep your volume down or wear headphones. Yeah, but then nobody can hear. Nobody can hear it. I mean, we could easily play it on mute and just like commentate over it and not have any sound. I should read a book? No. I wouldn't be good at that. Have you seen the posters that have supposedly the top 100 movies of all time? I'm trying to work my way through them. I've already seen 46 of them before. What do you mean posters? I'm not really sure. I love Interview with the Vampire, yeah. Alien abduction stories are the scariest. Well, you were on the other night when I was talking about those, weren't you? No, Ted, we never went back to that road. I mean, it was probably just some kids running at the train, but it just sounds so much more cool and scary to say, like, what exactly was it? You know, like the way we said it, you know, just leave it up to you guys. You choose the ending. Jorge wants people to come over. He's got a huge bag of tortilla chips. I have bitchin' sauce. Yes, Weird Science was good. Do you remember Weird Science? Was it Weird Science or something? I think it was Weird Science, the TV series, for like a hot minute there. I did watch Ancient Aliens. Yep, I saw the Omen movies, and that scared me when I was a little kid. And I remember specifically the one where the kid falls under the ice, and Damien he's like, and I just always thought I was gonna fall under ice and die, and just seeing the kid's head, like, I think it was a guy actually, maybe an adult, but he's like looking through the ice trying to get up, and then he died like that, and I was like, that like scarred me, like I was like, oh my God. But like when I say scarred me, like I loved all those horror movies, but that would like always like burn a hole in my head, you know, in my memory. That one, and when the window falls on the kid's fingers in the movie Amityville Horror. That one too. What else? There was a lot of things that like. What else? Yeah. I used to try to sneak my way down and watch horror movies when I was little. I loved it. I always did. But then I would get scared. Indy always acts weird. Like there's always something in here. And it was weird. I was in the bathroom last night, and Indy was on the other side of the door, and I had the door shut, but not all the way shut, just like shut, but not like snap shut. And I think I was flossing my teeth, and as I was doing it, the door went. Nobody pushed it. It just like kind of sucked shut. And it had never done that before, and I was like, what? So I opened it immediately, and he's always weird when like if he sees somebody coming into the house, he turns into like a guard dog and he just barks like a mean dog. But if he hears something that's not caused by like a person doing it, he turns into like Scooby-Doo, where he's really, really afraid. And so I opened the door real quick, and he's looking at me like, you know, he's scared and everything, and so I just pretended like nothing was wrong. I'm like, what are you doing, you know? But it totally just like sucked shut. I've never done that. Weird. I can tell you some creepy stories. Like, again, like I'm very skeptical and I don't really believe in that, but like a couple other things that happened here when I bought the house. So one thing that was undeniable that I can't, because I like to explain things out with like science, you know? It's like, well, physics explains this and that, or there's got to be another explanation, or just something we probably just don't know the answer to, but it doesn't mean it automatically is a ghost or a spirit or a demon. So when I first moved in this house, before anything was, you know, set, you know, in order or anything like that, just a bunch of junk that I moved in the house. It's just piled up everywhere. All my belongings were piled up in piles. You know, it wasn't like I didn't have the couch in a certain location and the table and everything set up and put away. It was, you know, very new. And I had a toolbox, which I still have down there. It was a yellow and black toolbox, and in the top of the lid are like little compartments where you can put like the lug nut bolts or the head for the ratchet. Yep, the head for the ratchet. So it's kind of heavy and it kind of weighs it down. Okay, so the lid was heavy and it was weighted down. So if you wanted to open it, you snap it open and you pull it open and now you're in it. Well, anyways, it was the toolbox was sitting on a chair in the kitchen, and I was all the way down the hallway into my living room, which is directly below me right now. And I was standing here and I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, and she was sitting on the chair that happens to be the chair from, you know, that chair, the creepy chair. And I was standing with my peripheral towards the kitchen. And as I'm talking to her, the lid of the toolbox flung open and went doo, 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 doo. And immediately I knew there was no scientific physical way that I could explain that with, like, you know, physics or anything like that. I just was like, she heard it and I saw it. I saw it happen. I was like, I know in my educated mind that there's no way that could happen without somebody doing it. How did that happen? I just froze, and I was like, nobody else was in the house. So, you know, I know I took note of that happening, but you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? So, you know, I didn't really think too much of it, but I remember it, and it happened here at this house. Am I driving people away because I'm telling scary stories? The boy portrait story. We're talking about Jacob. Yep, and he's like, we really need to move, and I really want a treat. Yeah, you know what I should do? Jacob, the picture of Jacob, I should hang it behind me, or maybe right over here. No, if I put it there, John or somebody will knock it down for sure. So you want to should I tell more scary stories? I'm not telling the one that I told the other night though, because I just told it. But maybe I can tell a couple more. I think we got enough new people. Should I tell the chair story? The chair story is very simple, and it's like one of my favorite ones to tell, because it's just so incredibly what are the chances, you know? But we have 100 people watching, so I know there's some people in here that have never heard that one. But I know other people are probably like, Chris, we've heard this a million times. So if you guys want the chair story, let me know with a yes. And if not, say no, and I'll move on to a different one. Yes to all. Yes, tell. Let's see. Let me read a couple questions while I'm... You had to lower the volume. Garden gnomes. Garden gnomes. Candace says my ice water glass had slid a few inches across the table with no one. Okay, that is actually, so that happened to us too at a restaurant. We had a glass of water and nobody was touching it. We're all just talking and it just went woo, and it was really cool. Like, I mean, that would scare most people, but there's some kind of scientific thing with the way that it's trapped with the condensation, gets wet, and it touches the glass to the glass and it just slides. So I have seen that happen a bunch of times. Okay, so some people want to hear the chair story. All right, let's tell the chair story. Okay, so here we go. I used to live in Rochester, New York. I was in an apartment out there, and I lived there. This is back in 2008, 2009. I lived out there with my girlfriend at the time, and let's see, her family lived in a neighborhood like here in Syracuse, and my family lived in a neighborhood like outside of Syracuse. So, just about every weekend I would drive home, an hour home, and just kind of hang out with family. And, I didn't really have any friends out there, so it's kind of boring out there. And there weren't all these vegan restaurants out there back then. I mean, a lot has changed in 10 years. So we would come out here, and we went to drive to her parents' house one day in the middle of the summer, and we were going through her neighborhood and her parents' neighborhood, and there was a chair being sold outside. It was like for sale, and it was like a burgundy chair. It looked fine, so I'm like, hey, we stopped the car and we're like, we kind of need a chair. It says it's only $20. There was like a $20 sign on it, so we're like, I don't know, go check it out, see if it's worth picking up. So she went over and looked at it, and she goes, yeah, it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'm like, all right, go here. I gave her $20. I'm like, go run that in and give him $20. And so I took the chair and I put it in I used to have a truck. I had a truck at that time. So I put it in my truck, and the garage door was open. So she walked through the garage door, and out on the back porch, there was a really old lady. So she walked out there and she goes, hi, we want to buy the chair out there, and here's the $20. Thank you. And then she got in the car, and we brought that chair to my apartment all the way out in Rochester. And then I ended up, for my work, I ended up being able to transfer back out here to Syracuse. And it just happened to be my brother just had a house built, brand new house built. And he couldn't live there because he was on orders for the military. So he had to go somewhere for like 8 or 9 months. And he needed somebody to help pay his mortgage. So I'm like, hey, he said, will you just rent my house? And I'm like, sure. So I moved in his brand new house. I'm the first one that lived in it before he did. So that was pretty cool. And this is right about the beginning when I started the Vegan Zombie. So yeah, I got a lot of inspiration out there in that area to shoot some of the videos I shot, which has nothing to do with the story I'm telling. So anyway, after that, those months went by, and my brother is now ready to come home. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it's time for me to move out. I need to find an apartment or something. So I'm looking at, how much apartments are, and I definitely need a 2 or 3 bedroom because I got my screen printer, and I got, other stuff. I want my office so I can, edit my videos and all that, and a bedroom. And I'm looking at how much everything was. I'm like, wow, everything is just so expensive. From the last time I got an apartment, everything is so expensive. So I said to myself, I'm like, well, what if I look for a house? What if I've never bought a house at this point. So I'm like, what if I bought a house? So I started looking at houses, and I'm like, well, what if I bought a house big enough that if I ever came down to it and I was like, kind of in need, that I could rent a room out to help pay for my mortgage. So I started looking for 4-bedroom houses. So I looked literally through about 30 houses. Like I looked at so many different houses, and there was always something that I didn't like about the house. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to spend all this money, I'm going to find a house that I really want. And I was a special investigator at that time, so I did a lot of driving, and I'm like, you know what? I want a house that's kind of near the thruway because I'm always all over the place. I don't want to have to drive, an hour or half an hour just to get to the thruway. I want everything really close. So I finally found the last one I looked at. I was like, I really like this house. It was a little outdated on the inside. Wallpaper, shag carpet in the basement that I had to rip up. But I ended up really falling in love with it. I'm like, I bought this house. So I'm like, all right, so this is my new house, which is the house that I'm in right now. And it just happens to be, coincidentally, the same house that I bought that chair from a couple years before. Now that's pretty crazy. So that chair is now currently downstairs. Yeah, that's a pretty crazy. I think that chair needed to be here. Those people that lived here, they were old and they died, and I got a deal on the house because their children inherited it. And when I say their children were like my parents' age, and they just wanted to get rid of the house. So they inherited it, and then they sold it, and nobody was offering. So I was like, well, I'll buy it. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying more than that. They're like, okay, sold. And I got this house, and I had to, I moved all my stuff in here, and there's been a few weird things that have happened here, but how do I know? I've talked to the neighbors and stuff. I had a neighbor that lived right there, and he was in his 90s, and he was in World War II. I really wanted to interview him because I love history, and that would have been amazing. And I asked him, I said, hey, because he told me all these stories. And I'm like, I do YouTube videos. Is there any way I could interview you in a historical sense? And he's like, oh no. He passed away a couple years ago. But that would have been really cool. He was a really nice guy. And he actually lied to get into World War II. He wasn't 18, he was 16. And he lied about his age to go in the war. So he was 90, 94, 95. Yeah, I believe so. I believe they did, Rosie. I don't know. I'll probably never know the answer to that. Your first house was 100 years old and creepy. So I'm always trying to ask my neighbors questions whenever I go talk to them about the house, because they were one of the original neighbors too. But I guess the people that lived here were one of the first people that lived in this neighborhood. And so this house is in the same neighborhood that my ex-girlfriend's parents lived in, or continue to still live here. So that's how I found the house. And now that I bought the house brought the chair right back where it came from, the chances of that, everywhere in Syracuse that I could look for a house, it had to be the house that I got the chair from 2 or 3 years earlier. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so later on, so it had probably been, I don't know, 3 to 6 months that I lived here, and I was down in the basement doing laundry, and I kind of just looked behind the furnace. I know it sounds all scary, like Nightmare on Elm Street, but I have a furnace and everything. I looked behind the furnace, and I saw something that back there. So I look back there, and there's it's a picture. It's a picture frame, pointed the other way, so it's all dusty, and I pick it up, and I turn it around, and it's a painting of a little boy that's probably from the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he's standing next to a chair, and he's just looking. He's not really smiling, he's just looking. And I just noticed that wherever I go in the room, it looks like he's staring at me. And so me being me, I'm always trying to think scary scenarios. I'm like, I bet his name is Jacob. His name's Jacob. And whenever I hear things around the house, it's because he jumped out of the frame of the picture and he's running around making noises in the house. And then when I go downstairs, he jumps back in the frame. So I tell everybody that story. And I thought that a really good prank to play on somebody would be to tell somebody that story, and have it hanging up. And try to get a replica made of the same exact picture without him in the picture. Maybe just his shoes on the ground. And then just like one day when they're not looking, hang the other one up and then like make a noise in the house, and then they see the picture and be like, oh my God, just like the power of suggestion by telling a story or something. Anyway, burn it. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. So I've already pried it apart to look for like millions of dollars stuck inside. They took the money with them. A night gallery episode. Okay, so I've never really seen night gallery. Let's talk about this, guys, because there's a few different things. Now, I used to watch a few different Twilight Zones when I was little, but I was really little, and my dad liked night gallery, and I wanted to watch one once. He told me about one of them, and I only know it from what he told me, but in my mind, like that whole story played for a long time, and it was a scary story, and I would tell my friends and everything, and it's funny because I never even saw it. But I wasn't allowed to watch Night Gallery because my parents thought it was probably too scary for me, back in the early 80s. So, but there was this one episode that my dad said was scary, that this little kid had like this teddy bear that would get really long claws or something. And I don't know what he did. That's all I really remember. Does anybody know that episode of Night Gallery? Hi, Deneen. And then there was another show that I always talk about to this day, and I saw it one time, and I don't know if it was Night Gallery. I don't know what it was, but this is what happened. It was just a family, and they were in a house, and I remember it was midnight. And when they said it was midnight, they're like, it's midnight. It's halfway between dusk and dawn. And then one of them sneezed like 7 times, like, achoo, 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 achoo. And they're like, and they all looked at him, and then that meant that werewolves were coming or something. And like, they looked out their windows, and there was like werewolves coming at the house or something like that, or people that were wolf people. I don't know. And then the morning came, and then everything was fine. And then they're like, we made it. Everything's good. And then everything was fine at the end. And then all of a sudden at the end, they're like, such relief. And then all of a sudden you heard, achoo, achoo, achoo. And they all look over, and it was over. Does anybody remember that? Please tell me something. Because I don't know what that was, but I know I saw it. And then whenever I hear it, because like my brother will sneeze a lot, or my sister, I'll be like, oh, werewolves are coming. I'm trying to entertain with some scary stories here. That's my way of making people less worrisome, by just telling horror stories. I don't know. Yes, we were just talking about that the other night. Plant Power Amazing Stories was amazing. I used to watch that with my dad and my brother. But I really like the one with the Kevin Costner where they're in that the B-2 bomber or something, and the wheel was broken and wouldn't come down, so their gunner guy was gonna, when they landed, he was gonna die. And should I stop and not tell the ending? It's an amazing story. So he was an artist, and I always thought that was John Cusack, but when I went back to watch it, it wasn't. Such a good. It's funny, Holly, I was actually also talking about Silver Bullet too. Silver Bullet's a good one. Man, Corey Haim, Lost Boys and Silver Bullet. We got werewolves and vampires. Wait a minute. So Jorge says it's called Swinging the Pendulum. It works, saying some scarier. Oh, I thought you were telling me I thought you were telling me the name. Sandra, we sleep just the same as every vampire. Laura, I'm not sure if I remember that one. Are there any good recent horror movies? I I liked A Quiet Place. You know which one I thought was good? It was a very simple. It was a very low budget. Um, It Follows. I thought that was kind of scary. So if you haven't seen that, it was pretty scary. I mean, not really anything scares me anymore these days, but that was pretty cool. Favorite movie after E.T.? That's a hard one because I there's so many for different reasons. Wow, that's hard. I love Goonies. I love Stand By Me. I don't think I have a favorite second. It's easy for me to say my favorite, but second would be like there'd be a bunch of them that I really like. So many of those 80s movies I really, really love. I also love The Last of the Mohegans, especially the very end. That's just, it gives me chills. Dracula is my favorite horror movie, so that would be up there with favorite movies, the Bram Stoker's Dracula. I love comedy. I love all kinds of movies, just like music. I don't have like a genre that I really favor, but I love all kinds of music. But hey, if the movie's good, I like it. You know, sometimes I like watching comedies. I do have a preference for horror movies. There's something about horror. I just really love it. But I love all kinds of movies. Flight of the Navigator is an awesome one that I grew up with. Cloak and Dagger. Movies that probably don't appeal to people nowadays. Like, I mean, you know, we're going way back to the times of what was going on during those times. Like, if I'm talking about a movie like that, you know, in today's day and age, you know, we've got all kinds of video games and smartphones and tablets and technology that just, it's like, why are they talking into a great big walkie-talkie? Why don't they just text each other? Like, that was amazing to me when I was little, when we first got walkie-talkies. There was no cell phones. There was nothing like that. And we got walkie-talkies. Wow, you mean I can go in the other room or I could go outside and talk to my friends? That's crazy. Like, that's unheard of. That's so fun. I need to get a walkie-talkie, you know, and I'd get these walkie-talkies, and that was awesome. Like, yo, come in, Matt, come in, Tim. And we'd talk on walkie-talkies. And nowadays, there's no need to get a walkie-talkie because you got your cell phone. Hey, what's up? I don't know. Call me back. No, text me, actually. So different. I love the original Star Wars trilogy. It takes me back to that special place. Just Indiana Jones. I mean, we're going right back to like the stories I told last week, you know? Like I like telling that story about how I first watched Indiana Jones at the mansion. That was awesome. What other things did I mean? Do vegan vampires evolve into something else? Well, I kind of touched upon that the other night with, like, you know, the premise of like Interview with the Vampire, the Anne Rice novels, like Marius, who, by the way, that's one of my favorite stories too. Now, they don't have I think they should have a movie, but I think it's so unique how Lestat was made, how Lestat became a vampire. And yeah, I love telling that story too. I like just to tell the part of the story about how he was made and why he's so unique and why he's so different from every other vampire in the Anne Rice novels. It makes you like Lestat a whole lot more when you know his story. He's not very likable in Interview with the Vampire. You're right. The walkie-talkies definitely replaced the 2 tin cans. Once Bitten. I never played Dirk the Daring. Oh, yeah, we're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, the mansion was creepy from what I remember. Dragon's Lair. Yes, I love that. Blood Moon. I believe I have it. I have a bunch of I went when eBay became a thing, I went crazy on eBay and bought like a ton of horror movies and Lord of the Rings things. I've got like Arundel and Sting. I've got swords from the movie. I've got the actual ring, a duplicate of the ring from Lord of the Rings. I kind of went crazy. You saw Jaws in the theater. How was that? I love Jaws, by the way. Yeah, Jaws is awesome. Did I like They? I don't know if I saw They, but I definitely saw They Live. Rowdy Piper. Wow, we're just talking about horror movies, and we got 120 people watching this stream. I was only going to stream for like an hour, guys, but we're on 2 hours right now. Yeah, there's so many movies. I can't even think of them right now, but going back, I wish I could queue them up and watch them sometime. Oh, They Live. Awesome. I don't know. You know what other movie that I used to always watch with my brother was Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor. That was a movie that you could just watch every time. So the movies like that where I could watch anytime they're on would be that, Castaway. Every time I know how it's going to end, every time it's on, I watch it. And of course, The Shawshank Redemption. Now that's a movie that flopped in the movie theater and just became a cult classic, and it's like huge. So the 10-minute fight scene. Yeah, they figured, hey, we got a wrestler as our main star. We might as well take advantage of the fight scene. That's funny. Okay, so we as humans need animal foods if we want to be as healthy as possible. Yeah, that's true, because most of these animals are eating plants, you know. They say that in the movie Game Changers, like, how do you expect to be as strong as an ox without eating meat? And the answer was, have you ever seen an ox eat meat? There you go. So you're right on there. Most of these animals are eating plants. Most of the biggest, strongest animals are eating plants. So you're right. What Dreams May Come. That was good. What else? I liked Inception. Inception was cool. Interstellar, I like that. We were talking about Prometheus and Alien franchise. Like, those are the kind of things I really like. I mean, how does it get any scary? Like, I mean, it's so. It just gets you really. It's very suspenseful. Like a movie like Alien, you're nowhere close to being saved by anybody. You're in the middle of space, and there's a killer alien on the ship that you have no idea where it is or what it can do to you or how to stop it. Like that's pretty scary. And when it first came out, like people were like, "What?" Oh, The Thing. The Thing is another one, and I hear they're doing a remake of it. Look at tigers; they can kill any animal. I've never seen a tiger kill like an elephant or even like a whale or anything like that. But yeah, Carla, Prometheus is, I've seen it a few times. It's just it's awesome. I want to see more. You know, I like the horror movies that make you think more than like the ones nowadays where they have to scare you with like a jump here and like a crazy like sound. It's those ones where you're like, you have to think about it for a second. Like, ooh. Like the very end, I'll say that like when I saw it in the movie theaters, if you paid attention at the beginning, the people that paid attention in the beginning, I think were pretty stunned and scared at the end. The people that didn't pay attention in the beginning and just didn't make the connection were like, what was that? That was stupid. When the Blair Witch came out. So I saw that in the movie theaters. And when it got to that very last scene, I was like, oh my God, that was scary. But everybody else around me was like, that's it? That was stupid. So, who said goodnight? Tracy said goodnight. What about Richard Pryor, the toy? Or Richard Pryor and Superman, was it 2 or 3? I started watching Altered Carbon. I couldn't really get past the first. I watched one episode of it. Should I watch more? But there's another one that I watched that I really kind of got into. Now, you could tell it was like kind of lower budget, but I didn't really care about like, you know, obviously it was lower budget, but it seemed, it captured my attention. And I can't forget something, Lives or, they're basically in space. Yeah, I don't know. All kinds of weird things happen. And the dude that was in Shameless was in it. Yeah. I don't remember the name of it. Alien Covenant. Altered Carbon. I should watch more. Okay, maybe I'll give it another. I started that like over a year ago. You know, I got to say that there was 2 of them that I thought were really good. The Paranormal Activities. And a lot of people say, yeah, they didn't like them. There was a couple I didn't like, but I think it was 1 and I think 4 that were pretty intense, that I thought was pretty good. They were very well done. Prometheus was a prequel to Alien, but it came out way after. Alien came out in the 70s. Prometheus came out like, within the last 10 years. Event Horizon was great, yes. And I love I could talk about that kind of space stuff forever. Like just going past an Event Horizon. You know, I think they did an awesome job explaining a lot of things in Interstellar. That was really cool. I actually liked Her also with Joaquin Phoenix. The ship was the moon. Signs was okay. I think my favorite part was when they were all running around the house and he told them to start screaming obscenities, but he was like a priest or something, Mel Gibson, and he's like, darn it, or he just was like saying like Yeah, I forget. I didn't make it funny, but it was funny. I didn't see Annihilation, I don't believe. You know, I've seen a lot of movies that sometimes I have seen movies that I'm like, no, I don't think I saw that movie. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I did see that movie. But Chartreuse says, do I read any horror movies? I read a really scary one about a child actor who turns out to be a literal devil. I can't remember what it's called. I haven't read anything really lately in a while, to be honest with you. I'm more of a visual person, so, you know, I mean, I'll read things online like on a daily basis, but an actual book or anything, I got to say, it's been a long time, a very long time. I'm more of a visual guy, and I watch movies. Anyone watch Mindhunter? Yes. And actually, like, you know, my background is I went to school for criminal justice, so I used to read the Mindhunter books by John Douglas, all of them, and that really made me want to work for the FBI. And then all these years later, they made the series on it. So yeah. You know what I really liked? Okay, so a lot of you. So I've only seen the first season, but I hear that's like the best one anyway. But the first season of True Detective, really liked it. It made me see Matt McConaughey in a completely different light. Caroline. John says that to his mom. I'm trying to talk lower and closer to the microphone. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it too low? Is it too loud? Perfect. Okay. All right, perfect. Blue Book. I love being scared, but unfortunately, I haven't seen anything that really scares me. Like, I'm that person that, like, I would love, like, I've always loved horror ever since I was a little kid. And, I don't know why, there's just something about it. I love it. I love being scared, and just, I don't know, in the last 10 years or so, just nothing scares me. Like, I'm that person that if somebody said, I'm also very skeptical too on things. So I would love for some, like, when strange things do happen, like, most people like get scared and want to leave. Like, if I heard something, which I've heard things here in my house, I probably do what most people wouldn't do. Most people, when they hear something or something scares them, they freak out, they want to leave, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I try to challenge it. I'm like, all right, show me something again. Show me that this exists. Show me some proof. When everybody else is like, that was scary. And I'm like, no, let's hear it again. Now I will say this, I rented my house out for a year. They ended up being terrible tenants and they ruined my house. But before that happened, while they were living here, I got a pretty strange text message from my tenant. And she basically just messaged me and says, I got a really strange question for you. And I'm like, okay, what? She's like, has anything strange ever happened here? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, have you ever heard strange noises here when no one else is home? I'm like, no, why? What do you hear? And she's like, I'm here alone. There's nobody else in the house. And I'm hearing blatant loud footsteps going up and down the stairs. And I'm like, no, I've never heard that. And Rachel, who lives here as well, while I was gone to Toronto with Josh, she said that she heard really loud footsteps up here while she was downstairs. And she was on the phone with her mom, and her mom could even hear it through speakerphone. I've never heard it, but that's two people that said they've heard loud footsteps. So I'm the kind of person that if somebody told me like, all right, this is it. This is the most haunted house in the country. Nobody stays here. I dare somebody to stay here. I'm like, all right, I'll stay there. I'll stay there overnight. That would be me. So, you know, as long as there's not actual people in there trying to trick me and it's legit haunted, then I'd stay there. If there were some people in there trying to scare me or harm me or something, yeah, that's not cool. But if it's legit, said to be haunted, I'll be more than happy to stay. I do. I like Star Trek. I like Star Trek too. I like science fiction. I wish there was some more really good movies out there for science fiction, like that just like contemplates like different theories about life and, you know, time travel and interstellar voyages and stars and planets and all of that, because it's so crazy. Like we don't even realize how far the next closest object is to us. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. We're just like this little. They have a setup they have a setup in Ithaca, New York, where I showcased it in my Carl Sagan video, and it shows like what am I trying to say? Like not a life size, but like a model size of what it would really be like of the sun. And it's like however big it is. And then it shows how far away the next object would be, which would be Mercury. And when you go over, you can't even see Mercury. You see the size of the sun down to like a scaled down, and how big Mercury would be towards the sun. And it's like a little tiny dot. It doesn't even look like anything. It looks like somebody accidentally dotted like a pen there and then you had to smudge it off. That's how big it is to this whole thing. And then the next thing is you walk down, and it's all scaled out to how far away it would be for how small it is. And you walk down, you finally get to Earth, and then there's Earth in like the diagram, and then you go way all the way down the street, like all the way to the end of the street, and you see Pluto, and you see all the way down, and Pluto's like that little, and it's all the way down at the end of the street. I mean, it's crazy. And we have two man-made objects that are past the Voyager. The Voyager. It was sent out when I was 1 year old. 1 year old. The pale blue dot. So do you guys know, well, you probably know if you said it, but do you guys know the story behind the pale blue dot, where Carl Sagan, where they have that picture of the pale blue dot? Okay, so for those of you that don't, the pale blue dot is referring to us, Earth. And there's a picture of it. So Voyager is our satellite that left Earth back in, I believe, 77, when I was 1 year old. And it was about to leave our solar system. And before it was about to leave, Carl Sagan told NASA that it would be in our best interest. He said it would be paramount for us to turn it around and take one last picture before it left the solar system. And they were like, that's sketchy. We have to set in all these calculations in order to do it. And it's like, it doesn't, it's so far away that it's going to take a while for, even at the speed of light, for a radio signal to go all the way out there, turn it around, take the picture, and then turn it back around. So they didn't want to use the last of the energy from it to do that. But he kept, saying that we should do this, and he convinced them to do it. So they turned it around. They turned it around, and it took a picture. And the picture shows, it was perfect because it showed like a beam of sunlight that just kind of went down, and in that beam were the planets, and it just happened to be illuminated. It was us. It was Earth, and it's a small, tiny little dot, and he named it the pale blue dot, and he did a whole speech on it, and it's amazing. And that's what I linked in the chat last night for people to go check out. But for those of you that are interested in what I'm talking about right here, I'm going to pull it up for you. This is obviously a blown up pixelated picture of it, and probably a little bit color corrected just so you can see it. But that right there is us. This is his words too. Every human that you know, every human that ever lived, every human that ever was, lived their entire life on that mote of dust right there. And that's how small we are just in the solar system. I don't know. I love stuff like that. It's crazy. Carol, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of your print of the pale blue dot. That's got to be cool. You should send me a picture of it. Like, take a picture and send it to my email. I love time travel movies too. Time travel movies are pretty amazing, all the way back from when I was a little kid. So one of my favorite ones, it's old, it's real old, it's from the 80s. If you're looking for like action-packed, it's not the movie for you. But Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour in Somewhere in Time. It's, I think, one of my dad's favorite movies. I think it's like his second most favorite movie. He's got a list. It's funny. He's got like a little list. He always makes a list. He's got perfect calligraphy, handwriting, and he makes a list of his top 10 favorite movies. And he's always trying to update it. And he'll pull it out from like a little thing and be like, well, my favorite movies are... but that's one of them. Somewhere in Time. It's awesome. It's an old movie, but it's pretty cool. Pretty much, Jorge. About Time is my favorite. About Time. I don't think I've heard of that one. Oh, no, I haven't. It's 2013, About Time. I'll have to check it out. I love... Starman is awesome, too. I love Starman. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time. Yes, that's true. Yep. Wrong one, though. Oh, that's cool, Carol, that your dad worked there. What are some other good ones? NASA has to watch Game Changers so they can prepare to live in space. Yes, she is, Rosie. I always liked Jane Seymour. You know who reminded me of Jane Seymour was what's her name? Natasha. Oh, was that? She reminded me. I forgot her name. Richardson. Was she the one? Yeah. That was married to. Yeah, she was married. She reminded me a little bit of her, but she ended up dying. Was she in a ski accident? Was that? Was she the one that was married to Liam Neeson? Yeah, Liam Neeson. I liked... I've seen him, but I wasn't like a huge fan of Dune. Thank you, Kate. And have a good night. Oh, I also like Solaris. That was really good. Do I have Carl Sagan's Cosmos series? I don't, but I've seen them all. My favorite condiment? Let's see. Maybe hot sauce is not too hot. Or barbecue sauce. I don't know. It depends what I'm eating. I like them all. I like all of the things you listed, but I'd probably let's think. Ketchup is good, but if I had to choose between ketchup and barbecue, it would probably be barbecue. When I was little, I used to eat mustard sandwiches with salt and vinegar potato chips. It was good. I liked it. Solaris, the talk show host? No, Solaris was a, I think the original was like 67 or something, but the one I'm talking about is, I don't know how old it is, but it's got George Clooney in it. It's got, I think Jane Seymour is in it. Or is that Natasha Richardson? And I just thought, release date. Okay, I'm looking for the 2002. Okay, so 2002. Yeah, it was. Oh no, Natasha McElhenney. Sorry, it wasn't Natasha Richardson. It was Natasha McElhenney that I thought reminded me of Jane Seymour. So, and then it's got Jeremy Davies. Yeah, he's the one that's like he could play like a good Charles Manson. He hasn't been in anything lately, has he? He kind of looks a little bit like Henry Thomas. What's he been in lately? Oh my God, he's 50. Man, I'm getting old. We're still talking about spicy mustard over here. I think we're a little bit behind. What are some other really good time travel movies? Well, obviously Interstellar. Peanut butter and dill pickle sandwich. Yeah, so we're probably giving everybody some ideas of what they can go look for or watch, in these upcoming weeks. Night of the Comet, not Comment. Yeah, I miss listening to all the Art Bells. My dad still listens to him. All his reruns. Scariest movie ever, Return to Oz. Should I tell my Wizard of Oz story? I don't think I've told it in a while. Yeah, my dad gets it for free. I don't think he even has to have an app, does he? I think it's right on the radio. Yeah, all of his old repeats are on the radio. I used to listen to him when he was live back in the day. Getting ready for the Y2K and everything. Do you guys remember John Titor, the time traveler that they couldn't debunk? That was really cool. Man, imagine what you could do if you could time travel. So I know I've said this before too, but this is like a really fun thing to like, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know if I could time travel. Like I try to tell myself, hey, and I've was visiting my parents and I said, Mom and Dad, I got a question for you, and you really got to think hard on this one because it was obviously a long time ago. If I were to time travel all the way back to when maybe before I was born, or maybe when I was just like 1 or 2 years old, and I went and I visited my parents, me now, like how I look right now. And I went to the door and I knock on the door. And I said, Mom, if I were to come back, me now, which obviously I'm older than you were then by a good 20 years. And and I was face to face with you, do you think I could convince you that I am your son from the future? And my mom, I don't think I could convince her of how she was back then. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any, she'd probably call the police on me. My dad, on the other hand, seems to think that I could. And again, you can tell them anything about, but the hard thing is if I went back before I was born, then I really couldn't tell them anything about me that they could verify. You know what I'm saying? So like if I went back to like when I was 5 or something, I don't know. Be like, look at me. I am your son from the future. That would be really weird. And it would be really hard. And it would be interesting to see if you could convince your parents to believe that you were you from the future. Like, what would you say to them? How would you convince them that, without thinking you're crazy and calling the police on you, that you are their son or daughter from the future? I think that would be crazy. My mom would probably call that. She'd freak out. But here's the thing. This is crazy. And I've always thought about this. So my mom says that one night, now our house where I was born, not the one that I grew up in, but I lived at a different house until I was like almost 4 years old. And it was like kind of deep down a driveway behind another house. So if somebody were to go, off of that road there, they'd probably go to the first house. They wouldn't go way in the back in the middle. It's kind of dark back there. And that was the house that I was born at. And I was born in a hospital, but the house when I was little. And we had a big German Shepherd, like this guy right here, Indy, but he was a big German Shepherd. And my mom said one day this stranger came to the house and he knocked on the door, and my dad wasn't there. I believe I was born. I believe I was a baby, and he came in, and my mom was scared, and he said, "I got to use your phone." And my mom was like, "Okay, it's over." And the dog that she tried to put into the bathroom was barking like crazy. And then when he saw the dog, he quick hung up the phone and he took off. So he was in the house. And then she said it was really weird, and she got really scared, and she didn't know what to do because my dad wasn't there, and the dog, so our dog pretty much scared this guy off, and he took off. Now my theory is, what if that was me in the future coming back to just get a glimpse of my little self and just seeing my mom, but not scaring her, and seeing the dog, and then just being like, all right, I've seen enough, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? From the future. Because I'm already thinking it. I don't know. It's just a speculation. Anyway. Hey, Gomez. And yeah, time travel, I could sit there forever and think of different cool things. Another Life. That's the name of the show. Another Life, I think, right? That's what I was thinking of. That I couldn't, and you weren't even saying yep, that's it. It's Another Life. Thanks, Gomez. You didn't even know you were telling me the answer to that, but that was the Netflix show I was watching, Another Life. Totally Men in Black. You're right. I probably would have stuck around. I don't know if she would remember that it was me. But that's interesting to think of. Imagine that. Imagine somebody coming back and saying that they're like you from the future. I don't know if the dog would know it was me. I don't know. I mean, I'm a totally different person. All of my cells would have already regenerated like many times over. No, I am your father. He never says Luke. Do a British accent. I don't even know if I can. I don't think I can. And if I try one, you guys are all going to make fun of me and be like, that's not. Because probably some of you are British and you're going to be like, no, you're not. It's crazy. You know what's cool, though, is when you hear either Hugh Laurie or Andrew Lincoln speak in their native tongue, because they're British, but on The Walking Dead he speaks with a American accent, and same with Hugh Laurie from House, and then all of a sudden you see him and you're like, oh wow, that's crazy. It's crazy. What did I eat for dinner? Well, I started the stream eating a slice of pizza with some olives. Oh, I got some olives left. We got some Kalamata olives. Does anybody like olives? Good night, Belle. Thanks for joining us. The newest Star Wars Disney movies. I didn't see The Rise of Skywalker. I do want to see that. I don't think I can do a British accent in front of you guys. I mean, I could do it off camera, but what should I even say? I don't even know what to say. Good morning, Scott girl. What if I just learned a new accent and I only spoke in that accent from now on? People would be like, people would wonder. And then when I got everybody thinking that was my normal voice, then I'll go back to this and people will be like, what? I just ate all my Kalmatas. We have 128 people watching. It's almost like, what are my thoughts on The Mandalorian? I thought it was good. I didn't think it was like the best show ever, but yeah, it was good. What do Kalamata olives taste like? I can't really. There's a bit of a tanginess, a bit of a sourness, but it's just I like them. They're really. I could eat a ton of them. Back. Did anyone like The Witcher? Some people did. Some people didn't. I liked it. Let's talk about shows that we really like. Well, I'll start with mine. So my all-time favorite series is The X-Files. I love The X-Files. I love Breaking Bad. That was awesome. Now, Breaking Bad for me was... so I started watching Breaking Bad first episode, and I didn't really like it. Debro, thank you for the $24.99 super chat. 0.01% less than a therapy session copay, and fourth night in a row, I think. Late night sessions with Dr. Zombie Chris. Thanks. Washington State has one smiling. Less panic zombie Fowler. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm glad I could help with our group chat here. Better Call Saul is another good spinoff. I've only seen the first season though. Let's see, where were we at? So, I'm trying to go through all these now. Okay, so Breaking Bad for me. So I started watching the first episode a long time ago, and I couldn't get through it. I didn't like it. So I stopped watching it. And then somebody else told me, like, you got to watch Breaking Bad. I'm like, all right. And I couldn't find anything else to watch. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it again. And I went through the first episode, and then I watched the second episode, and then I was addicted. And then I had to watch all of them, and it was amazing. So there's certain shows that are like that, where like the first episode is just not really, it doesn't really pull you in. But if you stick with it, it gets really good. So that's one of them for me, at least. Does Hannah Montana count? Of course. But Hannah Montana came out when I was a little bit older, so I never really saw that show. Game of Thrones. Okay, so for me, here's Game of Thrones. So I love medieval Dungeon and Dragon kind of games and movies. And when Game of Thrones came out and I heard about what it was, I'm like, all right, I'm going to binge it. I think the first 3 seasons were already out when I heard about it. So I had 3 seasons to watch. And it was winter. So what did I do? I made some vegan hot chocolate, sat on the couch, and I binge watched it. Amazing. So yeah, it got to a point where it got a little bit bad. You're right. Was hoping you'd live stream after last night, so this is awesome. Thanks. Well, thanks, Candace. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these streams. And if you're just joining us, the whole reason that I started doing these, I mean, I've been streaming for a while, but usually in the daytime. So I started doing these because people were like worried and panicking over what's going on with the whole virus. So I thought like, hey, I've done a few videos on it. Let's actually talk this out. Let's get together here and let's get the panicking down to a low, and we'll all talk together and hang out. So, a lot of people are trying to self-quarantine and not go out. So, if you have time and you want to hang out, and even if you can't be on the live stream and you can watch it like the next day, that's fine too. So, we're here in case you guys want to get together. And, I know that can, I don't know. Like, I like hanging out with, even if it's online, I like hanging out with people, and I look forward to it. So if it's helping anybody, then that's cool. And if you guys have anything to talk about, let me know, and we'll talk about it. Most things. What else? What other shows do I really like? Because there's a ton of them out there. Of course, I need a list. Can't think of them. I like Narcos. Narcos was good. I haven't seen Deadwood. I've heard that I should see Deadwood. The old Roswell. I used to love the old Roswell. So I started watching the X-Files with the old Roswell with Katherine Heigl. I forgot I used to know everybody in there. Yeah. I did watch the OA. I can do the whole dance. No, I forgot it now. But anyways, yeah, the OA. I thought that was pretty good until the end, yeah. I have not seen You. I mean, I'm looking at you, but I haven't seen You. No, I heard about that, but I haven't seen it. The Americans, I don't think I saw that either. Oh, another time travel movie that I just remembered that is actually pretty good, and the whole concept would be really cool. What's the name of it? It's November 23rd, 1962. It's got, what's his name? Wait, without telling me, I'm going to get his name. His name is James Franco. And that would be 63. 11/22/63. I knew that was wrong. 11/22/63. And that is the movie cast. So that is obviously the day that JFK was assassinated, but the whole concept behind it is really cool. He's able to go back in time there, a little bit before that, like a year or two before it. And if he comes back out and he goes back in, he goes right back to where it was. So if he wants to do anything to try to stop this, he's got to live for the next 2 or 3 years to get up to that point to try to stop that from happening. And let's say, for instance, he goes in there and he lives everything for 2 years, and then he finds a problem and he comes back out. Well, then he would have aged that, for 2 years, but he comes back to that same time that he was. But then if he goes back in there, he's not at that 2 years anymore. He's back where he started 2 years prior. So he'd have to live that whole 2 years again just to get to that part where he was to try to do what he was trying to do. It was really cool. Dark is really cool too. I only saw this first season though. John. Criminal Minds has ended. Quantum Leap was awesome. I loved Quantum Leap. I used to watch that all the time too when I was a little kid. What else do we have? I didn't watch Californication. American Horror Stories, there you go. That's a good one. I've seen most of them. I think there's one that I didn't see. The three guys. Are you talking about Soylent Green? Freaks and Geeks. Have you watched? No. Wait, didn't you already answer that? I haven't seen you. Is Gomez a female? Yes, I believe so. She is. You talk to Brendan and Majandra from Roswell sometimes on Instagram. That's cool. What are they doing now? Are they in other movies or shows? You were in college with, or in class with David DeFranco? Tales from the Crypt? Yes. Okay, so we're all caught up. TV shows. Maybe I can pull some up. TV series that I like. I just watched one that was it was pretty good. It was I'm Not Okay With This. That was pretty cool. Kind of like a Stranger Things vibe, kind of a little bit. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones. I'm trying to find some. I watched I didn't finish the series, but I watched a bunch of series on Shameless. I don't know what else. TV series of all time. Let's get a list here. Oh, I remember that. The old Friday Sopranos. The old Friday the 13th series. So Sopranos and Sons of Anarchy, I liked both of those. I never got into Seinfeld. Obviously, The Office. How can I forget The Office? Both of them, the original and the American version. Arrested Development. It's pretty funny. Back when I was younger, I used to watch Doogie Howser, Wonder Years, The Night Shift. Do you remember that? Do you remember that movie, Night Shift? Wasn't that Nick Nolte, or was it something like that? X-Files. Oh, there was Lost. I liked Lost. I mean, they didn't end it very well, but it was pretty cool. Twilight Zone. Never seen Parks. I mean, I think I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 episodes of Parks and Recs, but not like I don't really know anything about Parks and Recs. I don't remember that, Ted. Recorded live on HBO. How I Met Your Mother, that's a good... Although I never finished it, so I don't know who the mother was. Hercules and Xena. Daughter of the Wolf. Star Trek. So I especially liked the... I don't know if you guys are real Star Trek buffs, but the one where they were outside of the orbit of a planet, where time went by faster on the planet than it did up in space, kind of like the whole scene from Interstellar, but they basically were able to see time moving on the planet so fast from where they were up in orbit that they could see an entire evolution of a species and the civilization coming about and collapsing all within hours, just because it was going by so fast down there. So if you were up on the ship, I think that's it. They finally made it to the point where they came from nothing, they evolved, and I might be wrong on this, but in my head, that's how it worked. They evolved to such intelligence where they were able to make, ships to go into space, and they got on board here, and because it was moving so slow there, like everybody was moving like so slow, like almost frozen, and then they were able to get I don't know, something like that. But it was a really cool concept. Does anyone remember that one? I've had people on live stream before that knew every episode. They're like, yes, it's this episode, so I actually I like Charm too. I didn't want to watch it. It was right 10 or 12 years ago, and the girl I was dating at the time was like, I want to, like, you got to watch Charm. And I'm like, fine, I'll watch it. And I got into it. And the same thing happened. Okay, so this is a kind of funny story. I moved to Florida in 1995 with some friends. And when I went over there, I had some other friends, and they I don't know, they acted all, really tough and everything. They're like trying to be like badasses and everything. And then they're like, oh, I forget, I'm just making a time up, but whatever time it was, they're like, oh, it's 8:00. I gotta go watch a show. I'm like, well, I'll watch it with you. They're like, well, you don't have to. I'm like, well, what are you watching? He's like, well, I always watch 90210. And I'm like, oh, and I ended up watching it with him, and I got addicted to it. I'm like, I gotta watch what happens to Brandon and David in the next episode. I mean, I got into 90210. It was a long time. Angel, I liked Angel. Never saw the Flash series. They evolved and they had to phase shifter on the person to allow them interact with another time. So you're talking about what I was just talking about. So what is the name of that one? That sounds really cool. I'm glad other people know that one. You're right. I watched True Blood until it just wasn't good anymore, and then I stopped watching it. Didn't watch The OC. Did watch 6 Feet Under. Oh, which reminds me of Dexter, of course. Dexter is a really good one. Loved Dexter. I think that they should do more. Because if you watch Dexter, you know what happened at the end. Which I think that last episode, that just captured the feeling for me. There's a few shows that I've heard a lot about that I have no idea what. So what is Westworld? Is that worth watching? Is it good? I religiously watched X-Files until Mulder wasn't in it anymore. And then they did it without Mulder and Scully. And then I didn't really watch those anymore. It just wasn't the same. They just tried to keep going with it. But Chris Carter is a genius, and I especially like the conspiracy ones with Cancer Man, and like the conspiracy that he's the one that actually took out JFK, and just all those, like the black and white ones they did. Those were really cool. They filmed one of them here too in Syracuse. Westworld is based on an old movie. Weeds was good. Weeds was really good. And I'm saying this as a straight edge guy. I liked Weeds. Anyone know where I can see How I Met Your Mother? Yeah, where can you see that? My brother would watch that all the time, but yeah, I saw most of them. What is my take on Planet Blue Book? I don't know what that is. Planet Blue Book. The Perfect Skull. What? The music for Dexter. I know there's a bunch that I'm probably missing that I'm not thinking of right now that I'll think about later. Hopefully one day you're going to see the series The Vegan Zombie, because I got it all up here. The Voyager episode. Power. Workaholics is funny. I love Workaholics. Out in Rancho Cucamonga. That's where Cesar is. Silicon Valley. That's another good one. I like that. And the only reason I started watching that is because it was on right after Game of Thrones, and I just didn't feel like getting up and turn the TV off. So I would watch Silicon Valley. Surely you can't be serious. Airplane. Blink of an eye. Well, I really liked that one. It stood out for me. I mean, there's also some classic ones too that I used to watch with my dad. My dad loved Star Trek. And of course, Twilight Zone. Oh, wow. I haven't seen Fringe. The Outer Limits was cool. It was a little bit Twilight Zone-ish. Well, they actually have the Project Blue Book is a real thing. I don't know if it's a TV show too, but Project Blue Book is a real thing, and they released all of the classified UFO sightings and stuff, and that's what my dad talks about in the UFO video that we do. That I did on him last year. Cops. Okay, so that's a new TV series too. That's cool. Sounds interesting. Well, Leslie Nielsen was also in Creepshow with Ted Danson. And wasn't Adrienne Barbeau in it too? we've already talked about Amazing Stories a few times, but yeah, Amazing Stories is amazing. You know, there's one that was that had an alien in it that you know, it was directed by, you know, Steven Spielberg, and it came out after E.T. and it just was like so bad. Like, how do you go from E.T. to this? It was crazy. And then another one, which wasn't really good, was directed by or written by his wife. And my favorites were the ones that I talk about with the Kevin Costner, where the B-2 bomber plane has to land, and then the one where the people at the old the nursing home, the old folks home, they all go out in the yard at nighttime and turn into little kids and play. That was really cool. Tales from the Dark Side. Yep. John actually got me addicted to 24. I started watching 24, and yeah, that was pretty good show. We should do like a live podcast here where we have guests on the show. I'd love to have guests on the show. That would be cool. I got to figure out how to do that where we can like interview people and just have like a conversation that way. Speaking of which, I think I mentioned this to you guys a while ago. A few weeks ago, probably 3 weeks, month ago, I did a podcast with my friend. So he wanted me to do an interview with him because he's here locally in Syracuse, and we volunteered to help Joel at Strong Hearts Cafe one night to prep some food for it was for Tamerlane Animal Sanctuary. So we had to go in, we had to cut like 100 pounds of potatoes and make potato salad and stuff. And while we were there, he was asking me like, cause he's like, I believe he's like, he's the same age of me, and he's got very similar kind of childhood and so he basically asked me about my favorite movie, and he goes, what are some of your favorite movies? And I go, well, E.T. is my favorite movie. And Taylor, yes, I play WoW. And the way I explained E.T. to him, he said, you know, he knew that it wasn't just like, oh yeah, it's my favorite movie. Like, I really went into detail about why it was my favorite movie. And he said that you know, that triggered something in him where he knew it was something special, he said, and he wanted to do an interview with me. And I had no idea what he wanted to do the interview about, but I'm like, oh yeah, sure, let's do an interview. So I met up with him about a month ago, and, you know, we were at his buddy's studio, and we had the microphone all set up, and I had no idea what he was really going to talk about. And he proceeds to start talking on the podcast about my favorite movie, E.T. And we talked for a good 2 hours about mostly E.T. and then some other 80s things in our childhoods growing up. And then when we were done with the podcast, he says, oh, well, thank you. And I'm like, so let me know when you have it up, and I want to listen to it, because I had a lot of fun doing it. And he's like, I'm like, what is your podcast? He goes, I don't have a podcast, but I'd like to start one. And I'm like, wait, we just did all that and you don't have a podcast? And he's like, if you want to put it up on your channel, you know, you can. And I'm like, okay, well, when I get some time, I think I will, I could upload it right now, but it would just be audio. And I feel like I want to go back. It's like 2 hours long too. So it's going to take me a little bit of time, but I want to go through it and try to put as many pictures and old videos to it as I can. I really want to put some time into this. So when it finally goes up, like, have at it, watch it, have fun with it. We talk about a lot, but I want to go through. I told him to send me any pictures he has of when he was a little kid, and I'm going to take all the pictures I had of when I was a little kid, and old movies and VHS tapes that I have, which I'm currently putting these VHS tapes to my computer. And when I have something that I like, I'm probably going to just upload it. So that'll be cool. The cat's eye. Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan's done a live interview before. So well, I know a lot of people have done it, but I don't know if you can do it with the YouTube software. Like, I think I need an outside program, which I might have. OBS is what I'm using. I'll have to look into it, but that would be cool to have somebody on here, like from, you know what? I think I could Skype somebody in and like have like another window. That's my ad. And just have that on there. Are you afraid of the dark? I think I was a little too old for Are You Afraid of the Dark? But I started watching some of the old ones. Wait, what is it? Wait, what is the greatest show? Channel, not Chabble. Oh, wait, I missed something. Wait, what did remember when this was going to be an hour? Did I say that on this one? I know I said it the other night and I did exactly an hour, like 100, like to the second. Goosebumps. Pee-wee's Playhouse. I remember he made ice cream cake. He threw a piece of cake in with his ice cream and stirred it up. Yeah, Star Wars is pretty great. The original. What is on? Are they going to cancel Easter too? Today was St. Pat's Day. There we go. So I got to finish watching Better Call Saul at some point too. Gremlins. I thought I saw that they were going to turn Gremlins into a series. And were they going to do something with Goonies too, weren't they? Wow. So Josh is going to have a video going up tomorrow around noon. I have to turn it into a premiere. He wants to premiere it so he can hang out with you guys while he does. Oh, the Never Ending Story, right? Yeah. That was a good movie. Remember the horrible cartoon Rubik? Was that like Rubik from Rubik's Cube? Should I have Lost Boys? Lost Boys was one of my favorites too. Are people waking up? There's 121 people. Yeah, we're pretty high right now. Way more than we have on the normal. Is everybody a night owl now? And this is a Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Oh, have a good night, Kat. Glad everybody could join us. The Covenant. Oh, you know what I liked was The Descent. Quarantine makes me. Oh, I thought you were talking about Quarantine the movie. There's some good movies like that too, like Quarantine, Contagion, Outbreak. Blind Boys Don't Lie. This is When You Get Up for Work. Wow. Well, glad we can make you happy, Jorge, and anybody else here. So everybody's a night owl now. So yeah, I mean, you got to find ways to to deal with a lot of people's lives are changing all of a sudden overnight. Like what are we doing now? And like everything was on schedule and now it's different, but it's going to be okay. Oh, I thought you said folklore. Falcor was supposed to be a dragon. It looks like a dog. Yeah, totally. He's the luck dragon. And he's pink. You'd be getting ready for class right now, so you wouldn't be here, that's for sure. We're having a video class, so I could teach you guys something in class. So what can I teach you? What could I possibly teach you that you guys don't already know? Why am I looking around my room? I don't know, but I'm sure film editing. I mean, I could. Well, I could. Video editing. There we go. My dad actually has a film editor where you like splice it. And he used to do that. Do I drink alcohol? No, I don't. I've never tasted alcohol. Now that's a fact about me that people can't, like, they're like, what? You've never tasted alcohol? I've never tasted alcohol. I've actually never done drugs. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never even tasted coffee. Making my t-shirts. Yeah, I make my own t-shirts in the basement. Got a little screen printer. With the exception of the new ones. That's weird because I've never tasted alcohol, but I don't mind the smell of like wine. I've never drank kombucha because of the very small percentage of alcohol. So I won't do it. Sometimes I'll drink tea. But I haven't in a very long time, but I will drink tea. So I already mentioned this earlier, but I went vegetarian 30 years ago, yesterday. And I went vegetarian, and the first thing I had that day was tofu, which I had never heard of tofu. I didn't know what it was. Tabbouleh, and we had some green tea. And the tofu was just plain tofu. It wasn't cooked. It was just raw brick of tofu. And the green tea was like seeped in like a little tea thing. And that was my beginning of my journey. Like that was it. I didn't care what it was going to taste like. I was excited, and that was it. Went vegetarian. I like kimchi. Some sauerkraut, yeah. I like the wild brine. Skincare regimen. You have great skin. Thank you. That's funny that you say that though, because a couple of the anti-vegans made videos about me about how bad my skin was, and it looked like I had severe eczema and an autoimmune disease and all that stuff, which I don't have any of that, but thank you. I don't have a skincare regimen, but I don't know if I can find something that is healthy for my skin, then maybe I should start doing that. Fermented jalapenos. So I don't really like spicy, so I would probably pass on those. Peggy says, I remember my last meat, but not the date. Over 20 years ago is all I remember. So I actually remember the last two things I ate. Meaning I remember the last thing I ate when I went vegetarian and the last thing I ate when I went vegan. So 30 years ago, the last thing I ate. So we went vegetarian. It was me and my two friends. And my one friend and myself, we ended up giving ourselves the same exact tattoo in the same place. So we both have the same tattoo to this day. It's right here in my hand. Right there. It's a Japanese symbol. It means it's ninpo. It means the blade over the heart. The blade is protecting the heart. And that was just like to symbolize that we went vegetarian. We did it for, we were training, we were ninjutsu with our trainer who was, now that I look back at it, he was like a minimalist. He was training the arts of ninjutsu, not just, the whole lifestyle, like the ancient Buddhist, everything. And he said that the ancient Buddhists, the ancient ninja were predominantly vegetarian. And, this is when I was 14 years old. I've recently looked it all up, and sure enough, they were predominantly vegetarian. Some of them did eat fish, though. So if they did it, I wanted to do it. And that was the beginning of my journey at 14 years old. And my friend and I just kind of gave ourselves a tattoo. We're like, let's give ourselves a tattoo in a place that's not very noticeable, that nobody's really going to pay attention to or see. Let's do it right on our hand. So it's the only tattoo that I have. We did it with a little needle and India ink and a little soda cap. This is a bottle cap. And we would put that in there and dip it in there and then give ourselves the tattoo. So the last meat I ate was back. I remember it perfectly. It was, we were only 14, so we were with my mom. We went to a bookstore that sold Dungeons and Dragons stuff. We went there to get like dice and miniatures and stuff like that. It was called Twilight Bookstore. And then there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken out there. And I had only been to Kentucky Fried Chicken probably 2 or 3 times ever in my life. And we're like, let's go there because there was a new commercial on TV. And they had popcorn chicken. And so we got that. That was the last meat I ever ate, was the popcorn chicken. And that was it. And then when I went vegan, when I was 18, we were at Taco Bell. And I was with a couple friends. It was September 23rd, 1994. And I got some burritos. And at that moment, I just kind of zoned out from everybody. And I just thought to myself, like, wow, like, you know what? Because I didn't know at the time, all those other years, I didn't know. I thought that by not eating meat, I wasn't hurting animals. And I didn't know anything about the dairy industry. Times were different then. There was no internet. There was nothing I could look up. There was, everybody thought I would be sick if I did that. And, at that point, like, I didn't even care. I didn't care. I thought that maybe I would get sick if I did this, but I did it anyway. And I didn't want to be part of that industry. And I also didn't consider any animal products to be food anymore. So it was very easy for me to do it overnight, just like that. And I became vegan. And that was the last thing that I ate that wasn't vegan. I think it was a burrito and it had some cheese on it. I don't even think I finished it. That was it. That was the last day. So still recovering from the toilet paper rage. Okay. I just told you why I went vegan. I just made the connection. I made the decision. That was it. A lot of people have stories of like documentaries or seeing a farm sanctuary or another person inspiring them. I had none of those. I came to the conclusion on my own, and I decided that it was no longer food. I didn't want to be part of that. I had always loved animals. I didn't want to hurt them. And when I finally saw that the dairy industry was in fact hurting animals, which I did not know, I completely stopped eating altogether. Non-vegan stuff. I still ate food. Got it. I have a friend that went vegetarian after eating turkey on a Thanksgiving a long time ago as well. Sadly, he's no longer a vegetarian, which I don't know why. 2 years vegan and 4 years no meat. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. New fun Tenny. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Somebody came and a non-vegan gave you a bunch of vegan groceries. That's awesome. Hope to see more of that. Yeah, see that is not okay, Gomez. Like that's like when people try to do that, that's wrong. Yeah. People trying to trick so that's where I draw the line of they're going to be sorry if anyone ever does that to me. Which you all saw the Impossible Food. Well, I'm not saying you all, but those of you that did see the Impossible Foods video that I did, that was not cool. The friends that I went vegetarian with, one of them I know nothing about. I don't know. I have no contact with him. I haven't talked to him in many years. The other one has been a vegetarian all these years, 30 years. But lately we've been talking, and he's asking for my help, my advice on going vegan. So, hey, it took 30 years, but congrats, Laura. Congrats on everyone here that's gone vegan. It's a huge step. It's to me, I always say it's like the single best decision I ever did, not knowing at the time. Good morning, Britta. I guess it is morning for some of you out there. It's 4 a.m. here, and we've been on for 3 hours. But we're having fun, so why not? Four and a half years vegan, awesome. How's Cesar? He's good. Last I talked to him. I have another friend out there that is being tested now for corona, so that's not good. No, the friend that I got my tattoo with, is the one that I do speak with. The other one did not do a tattoo, and I haven't talked to him in many years. I got a big dog behind me. He's laying on his back, being all cute, too. You're afraid of the government now knowing what? Oh, yeah, all the degeneration. And I guess one of the anti-vegans is saying that it's not possible to be vegan as long as I have been. That I'm full of lies and I'm not actually, which is ridiculous. But yeah, there's a lot of anti-vegan stuff out there that they're just trying to, we're apparently a threat to them because we're against everything that they're trying to teach people. And they're just saying, like, it's just a matter of time before I am not vegan anymore because my health has deteriorated. Nope. Yeah, that's not cool. If somebody's not sure 100%, then I don't eat it. Like, well, I think it was vegan. Nope, not eating it. Regular to the bomb diggity. Anyone go vegan from your dinner speech? What's the dinner speech? Where do I draw the line with cross contamination? If something's cross contaminated and I know I'm not going to eat it, simple as that. Things that say may contain, to me that's vegan, because it's for the most part it's a legal warning, meaning that there's really no cross contamination, but they want to save their butts with the rare incident that something did happen and somebody is highly allergic. They don't want to have to get sued or anything, but it's not like they have, like, you know, pieces of egg and cheese and then throw in the next product. No, they're cleaning the machines and sterilizing the machines, and you know, they got to do that anyway between different batches, whether it's vegan or not, whether they're doing a non-vegan thing and then they go to another non-vegan thing, they got to clean the machine. So that's probably where I draw the line. Thank you. The sugar cookies for your 2018 Thanksgiving. I made the Thanksgiving pizza. Awesome. Oh, the Thanksgiving pizza. Yeah, that was good. You know, I sometimes forget all the recipes that I did. There's so many of them. And it goes back so far. I got hundreds of videos in the past 11 years. All kinds, really. Been all over the place. Just hit, Just hit 13 million views. It's pretty cool. All right, Robert. Well, thanks for joining us. Have a good night. All right, so maybe we should get going soon. Does anybody have any other questions that they need answered before tomorrow? Let me know in the comments right now. Otherwise, is Ripple? Some people like Ripple. Like Josh really likes Ripple. I don't really like Ripple. I've given it a few different tries too. I don't like it. They have a yogurt though that was pretty good. The milk itself, I didn't like it. My favorite milk is Oatly, the one in the white container. It's an oil-free. There's not many milks out there that are oil-free, but that's one of them. I grew up, one of my favorites was, my longest one that I used to drink was the vanilla rice dream. And then I found the flax milk by Good Karma, really good. The vanilla one without the protein was my favorite. And what else? And then they had it for a little bit. I can't find it anywhere anymore, but the Very Vanilla by Silk was really good. Other than that, a lot of the other milks I didn't really care for, which is why I tell people, hey, if you try something and you don't like it, don't just go assume that vegan milk is bad, because there's a lot of them I don't like. But there's other ones out there, so you'll find something you like. It's just you're going to. Yes, we do have. It's funny, Jorge. I was just talking about that tonight about making the Alfredo. But we do have a recipe for the Alfredo. It's on the YouTube channel. It's in my ebook. It's in the cookbook. Shelly went vegan at 19 after 10 years vegan. Got wrong info and ate dairy. Obvious mistake. Finally made an ethical connection. And vegan for that's awesome. Vegan for life. That's cool. I don't use beard products or anything. I've had companies send me beard oil and stuff, and maybe I put it on once or twice. Once, maybe twice in all eternity. Interview with a Vampire. What? Looks like you picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Linda says, everyone thumbs up this live stream, please. If you want, that would be cool. Go ahead and do that. If not, it's okay. I tried the Ripple once when we were on like the running relay. So I thought maybe because it was, sitting in the car that was the reason. So I tried another one another time straight out of the refrigerator, and it just both times it just didn't do it for me. Where is the TP? The TP is on its way. It will be there. As soon as everybody's done buying it, it will be replenished and all the shelves will be stocked and people will have all of their TP and the stores will have it back in stock. So I wouldn't really worry. Give it a little bit. Oh, did you see a dog stretch behind me and I didn't even see it? Oh, thanks for reminding me, Linda. I got to upload Josh's video after this. Who is Alfredo? He's from The Godfather. He made a mistake and he went out fishing. What time for Josh's video? He wants it to go up around noon. Yeah, the flax milk is good. No, I don't think I've ever had the grapeseed oil, but I try to steer clear of any oil these days, so. Wait, Ted said, what did you? Oh, who is Alfredo? Good night, Peggy. Oh, I mean, all the questions are coming in now because I said I'm about to get. So, you guys really like these live streams, I guess, because there's a lot of people still watching. So, we can keep doing them. Here, I'll say this. I'll try to think of things to. I think I have things to talk about at the beginning of each stream. And then I kind of rely on you guys picking my brain. So if you guys can all write down something or think of something that you want to ask in the next coming live streams or anything like that, then, by all means, write it down and come in here and I'll be more than happy to answer most of them. Hi, Chrissy. Waving to you. Yeah, I could probably sit here and not say anything and you guys could all be talking to each other. I'll just be reading your questions silently. That would probably be a boring stream. I used to feel pressure to be able to do these live streams. And then when I had nothing to say, I'd be like, all right, guys, bye. But it just seems like hanging out now. What's my favorite zombie movie? Probably the original Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. I love 28 Days Later, although some people, try to argue if they're zombies or not, but that is one of my favorites, 28 Days Later. You know, George Romero is my favorite director. I really wanted to meet him, but he died a couple years ago. So that sucks. If you have a kid, you're going to name the middle name Vegan. Cool. What WoW realm am I on? Oh my god. It's been a bit since I played. What am I on? I forget. Originally it was Fire Tree, but now I moved to a different one. I mean, I could... Hold on. Let me just load it up real quick. I started playing Classic, so... It's been a bit just because I started twitching EverQuest. So since I started doing that, I haven't really played Warcraft in a bit. So, but Josh plays like almost every day still. What are you on? Well, originally I started as Alliance, but now I'm Horde. Tekken. Oh, it says I have to restart the thing because I haven't logged on in such a long time. I'm going to try to find the answer to that, though. Big Josh is a big... I mean, are you a nerd just because you like play video games? I don't know. I guess so, then. I guess we're all a little bit of nerds. Never played Minecraft. Ever. Alright, I don't know if you're going to hear this. If I log on. Get Death Knight Early Access. What... We're going to find out what server I am on. See, I knew it started with a T. Turellion. That's it. Turellion. Close. Back. Quit. Back here. All right, so Turellion. Nope, haven't played Fallout. You know, honestly, I started playing... Oh, I did play a little bit of Skyrim. But I started playing EverQuest. And then when I was done with that game, I played Warcraft. And really nothing in between. Those were the two games that I played. I mean, obviously before that, I played all kinds of Nintendo games and stuff like that. So, yeah, Mortal Kombat and all that stuff. Dark Souls. Was that the way? Was it Dark Souls? No. Soul Reaver. I played the vampire game. That was pretty cool. Never played RuneScape. But EverQuest and Warcraft are cool. Wait, what is... A meat analog? So what exactly was it? Oh, I'd love to play some zombie games. That would be cool. What was the one that what was it? Resident Evil. That was fun. Now that was back in the 90s. The one that I played. It was actually kind of scary when you'd play it in the dark. How does it feel to watch video games become socially acceptable? I know the fact that people play them now for like a living. That's crazy. You wouldn't think of that back in the day. Modern Warfare Zombies, no. I've played Warcraft and EverQuest. Those were pretty much all I played. I really want to check out. So they're coming out with a new game that it's been in the making for years now, and it's called Pantheon. And I really want to. That was from the creators of EverQuest. And I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to come out because it was supposed to be fan funded, and it's been in the making for a while. Oh, there was a game Myst. That was cool. My dad had that on the computer, and we would play that. You just solving all these weird things. It was cool. But back in the day, I had a Commodore 64, and I would play like Zack McCracken, Maniac Mansion. We're going old school there. Original Doom. Could you share your knowledge of psychotic serial killers? I think that they don't have empathy. And, well, the way John Douglas did it. So John Douglas was the guy behind Mindhunter. He was the serial killer profiler within the FBI, forensic profiler. And the way he said it was, you basically, he's working on the side of the law, but he would go into like complete, what he would call it, darkness, the mind of darkness. So basically he would, without doing the acts that they did, he would put himself in the position of a serial killer and think like a serial killer. And it said that, it haunted him. It made him like have a mental breakdown, but he was able to think like a serial killer. Like, what would a serial killer do? How would they perceive certain things? And that's how he would catch these guys. That's how he would know like who they were looking for and what kind of people would fit the profile. And if this kind of stuff didn't work, they would have phased him out, but it did. So, yeah, I did a lot of research. I read all the books. I did research on all, those serial killers up to a certain point in my life. And then I ended that chapter in my life, and I said, I'm no longer doing this. It's not what my goals are anymore. And I left it all behind, but it was still interesting. So it's, they get addicted to certain things that that most people wouldn't get addicted to. Yeah, Forensic Files. Yeah, that's hard. It's hard to not watch an episode. I always joke, like, if you watch the first 10 seconds, you're hooked. You got to watch the rest of the entire episode. Oh, you just came from the Instagram? Yeah, I posted that like 4 hours ago. What's the best tasting vegan meal replacement shake powder? Okay, so for me, my favorite one, it's very clean ingredients and it tastes good. It's the 22 Days Nutrition protein powder. My favorite one is the vanilla flavor. The problem is you can't really find it anymore in stores, so you got to go straight to their website, 22 Days Nutrition. I know them personally, and I believe that Beyonce is part owner of that company, but it was formulated and created by my friend Marco Borges. So when I show that stuff on my Instagram and my videos, I'm telling you guys because it's my favorite. It's good. Very simple, clean ingredients, whereas other ones have all kinds of junk in them. You're ending the stream in 10 minutes. Well, that's your prerogative, Wahida. I never said that. I mean, I did say that, but come on, you guys kept asking questions. If you really want me to go, I'll go. We can we got record number of people watching right now, but we can end it if it's time for everybody's bed, because it is pretty late. But we started talking about like serial killers and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, even though what they've done was very bad, like the whole concept fascinates me, because so I started learning about them. Because that's what I wanted to do, not be a serial killer, obviously, but I wanted to solve violent crimes. I wanted to catch serial killers and do all that. That's why I wanted to be in the FBI. However, if I was in the FBI right now and I made it, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys about any of this stuff. I wouldn't be the vegan zombie. I wouldn't be doing any of that stuff. So I'm actually kind of glad. Can they be ordered from Can what be ordered from Vegan Essentials? If you're talking about the 22 days nutrition, I believe they're only available on their website. So you got to go to their website and buy them. They're no longer. Are we talking about wings? What are we talking about now? I missed it. What is vanilla? What is vanilla? Is that a real question? Oh, I had one right behind me, but then hold on. Shop. Boom. Okay. Here is what I'm talking about. Boom. 22 days nutrition. That's it right there. This is what I use. It is vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, and it's awesome. I love it. So I taste good, and if you're looking for something good, that's what I personally recommend. You're talking about the Meiwa wings. Okay, so Meiwa, they just closed their doors and rebranded as Lily's, and you can still buy the stuff. So I just posted the Meiwa wings. By the way, they're really good. Josh got them today. You can see more of that in the video I just posted, but also in the video that is going to go up tomorrow. All right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So those are the General Tso's vegan chicken. And then you got the buffalo ones. And then when you bite into it, there you go. So those are the Meiwa wings. What do I feed my dog? I feed my dog V-Dog food, premium vegan dog food, everything that they need to be healthy, and it is hypoallergenic, which is important. And I also give them sweet potatoes, carrots, treats, various other things. So, and they are healthy. Indy is 9. He's over 9 years old, and he's been fully plant-based diet now for 8 years, and then Zeke has been since I got him here last, what was it, May 1st, somewhere around there. So yeah. Yeah, actually, Pyra, I just did that the other day too. I normally make my smoothies with like the banana base with Oatly, maybe some peanut butter powder, and then like blueberries, maybe spinach. blend all that together with the 22 days. But I also did one the other day with just apples, blueberries, blended it all up with a little bit of that protein powder. It was super good. I haven't tried cranberry beans, no. We're all talking about all the food now. And you're making me want to go make a smoothie at 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. What I don't even know. You love how the 22 days nutrition chocolate is food empowerment approved. Yeah, that's awesome. Bam. I'm getting tired, aren't I? Did anybody else just yawn? Be serious. Don't lie. Let's see if it happened yet. Let me check something real quick. Nope, wrong link. There it is right here. You never yawn? Okay, they're still not up there. All right, I need to call I gotta call my guys tomorrow, to get my other merch on the site, because I got new designs. I got the Go Vegan and the Zombie Crew one, and I got them in hats too. No, Josh is not sleeping. Josh is working. He's probably in Massachusetts or something by now. He drives really far, probably like around 800 miles every time he works. You just made me yawn by reading your thing, Chrissy. Where's Wujita? Is it okay to get going now? In about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Upside down smiles. Are you hanging upside down like a vampire? So, I don't know. I think I really want to get that other video out, that I was working on, the one at Toronto. But I also want to, maybe show you guys what I have here stocked up at my house, so you can maybe gauge on yours. You might even be like, oh, well then I definitely got enough. People that might be worrying or whatever. And any updates I get, I'll update you guys what's going on. If I get any inside information, I'll let you guys know. You just been listening, Carrie? Yeah, but the pantry tour is something that I haven't really done. I do show you the pantry, though, in one of my Vlogmas videos where I clean out the pantry. Did you see that? I think there's a doggy looking at me. He's looking at me. He's circling. All right, so you want the pantry tour. I'll give you the pantry tour, but I got to clean it first. And I want to give you a refrigerator tour. I really need a bigger refrigerator or a second one, especially with Big Josh Vegan living here as well. But I do need to clean it a little bit, because I'm sorry. Hope nobody saw how dirty it was in the last video. I was like, oops. Anyway, sometimes I'm too busy for stuff. I try to prioritize what I have to do. I'm like, well, I'm too busy for this. I got to do that. That can come later, and then it just never comes. Martino. The Big Josh Vegan truck, his car, Quinoa. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, putting quinoa in smoothies. I don't know if I would do that. Now, chia seeds, flax seeds, those are healthy to put in your smoothies, which I do on occasion, but those are both ingredients that are in that 22-day nutrition. So, all right. Well, we got a lot going. We got a lot to talk about in upcoming live streams. So, oats and smoothies, that would be good. Oh, a bag of, you guys are making me hungry now. Bag of pistachios. So I don't know. I think I'm going to cut the stream now, but I don't know if I'm going to go to bed. I don't know if I'm going to go on Twitch, or I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might even go, you guys are making me hungry now. I might go make something. You got me on a late night schedule here. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. I can't believe how many people are watching compared to normal live streams. So, but then again, technically we're supposed to do a live stream tomorrow because it's Wednesday and we always do our Wednesday live streams. So should we do that? Or should we skip it? What do you think? Are we all going to be too tired? I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out. And if you guys like these, maybe we'll do another live stream tomorrow night. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Have a great night. And we'll talk to you guys later.